Doom, 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 doom. What's good? What's good? What's good, my peopleizations? We're gonna have a special guest on. Shamar Canal will be on with his promoter. And we're gonna have Bill Haney on later. And my brother, my co-host Clay Moraine. So salute. Dealing with a lot of things be going on, man. Life's, man, right? What they always say, when it rains, it pours. Pearl. Cameron Fields, peace of blessings, Queen. How you feeling today, beautiful? Hey, listen. I was Saret. What's up, family? Where you been at? I was completely shocked when His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh revealed that Terrence Crawford told him that this is it. Whoa! No, I'm not shocked. And nobody else should be shocked. Terrence Crawford is going to be 38 years of age. I will say this. He's going to retire highly accomplished. He beats Canelo Alvarez, right? He's one of the most accomplished fighters in boxing history, right? And I will say there's still, with Terrence Crawford's career, will still be a lot to be desired. Does that make sense? There still is going to be a lot to be desired. What I mean by that is there's still a lot of matchups that the boxing world are going to wish they seen before he hung it up. That's just the truth of the matter. Before he hung it up, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fights. Particularly for me, will be the Jamel Charlo fight. I really, really, really wish we would have got the Jamel Charlo fight. Also, another fight for me that I wish that we got, which would be Jerron Boots in his fight. I truly, truly wish that that's a fight that we got. You know what I'm saying? You guys let me know what other fights would you have wished that you seen from Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Saret, blessings to you, family. He said, Iraq bug. Yeah, man, that's the thing about being over there and defending your country, only to come back and they don't even give you no benefits. Isn't that wild? Isaiah GQ, what's up? Cruz Stewart, what's up? He said Bud will stop Boots though. Don't matter if you think he would stop him or not. The point is that we want to see the fight. Doesn't matter what you think the outcome would be. That's just an added bonus. Look at the NBA right now. A lot of people thought that the OKC Thunder was going to run right through the Indiana Pacers, and they went to Game 7. And if it wasn't for the Tyrese Hollenberg injury, the Pacers might have won that game because it still was a close game, and he wasn't even in, and he wasn't even playing. He injured himself in the first quarter. Happy Valley Farm, what's up, family? So, take that into consideration, right? PKTK, Al Williams, Sylvester Simon, 2011. What's up, family? You feel me? So, just take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Chris Legg, my brother, what's up, family? They sent you that noti today, huh? They gave you that good old notification. So yeah, man. We can't. The point is, Um, so they didn't, man. Been worse and worse to the point where I just check throughout the day now. Yeah, it's just they do me dirty, bro. They doing me dirty, Chris. It's just nasty work, bro. Look, we only got 60 people right now, Chris. Manda Mansa Musa LLC. What's up, family? I can't even get 60 people in here, bro. That's diabolical. It's not even realistic. Southwest Dice, what's up, family? It's not even realistic, bro. I can't get 60 people. Come on, bro. Mark Wonderly, what's up, family? Sarette said no notification. Yeah, it's just nasty, bro. Throw straight facts. What's up, family? Can we get 50 likes? Shakia Fields, peace and blessings, Queen. Aaron Friday, what's up? How you feeling? Yeah, they're not sending out the notice. That's clear as day. He said I was strolling and just found you. That's crazy. Hey, man, while we wait, man, I can't wait to see this Tevin Farmer fight. Tevin Floyd Schofield, man, Tevin Farmer just punked Floyd Schofield, bro. Tevin Farmer just straight punked Floyd Schofield, bro. Just straight punked him, bro. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see what he just did? Yo, listen, man. I'm gonna show y'all right now. I'm so disappointed in Floyd Schofield, bro. You too old now. Teach, what's up, family? You too old now, bro. Now you too old, bro. You too old for your father to be doing this much talking, bro. At some point, bro. I don't care if you're not. Uh, uh, um. I don't care if you're not media savvy. I don't care if you just not, you're not into that, bro. At some point, you got to talk for yourself. Like for instance, Bill does all the interviews and things like that because Devin don't like to do it, right? The difference is when LT, what's up, family? The difference is when the difference is what's up, baby? The difference is when when um when Devin when it's fight week, right? Huh? Hold on, man. Adrian Clark just said, let me hit up Adrian. Catch up more, what's up? Dion Gale, what's up? Let me hit up Adrian, bro, because he just posted that Devin and Norman ain't fighting. Bro, what? Ray Davis, what's up, family? Yeah, Adrian Clark. I'm hitting up Adrian Clark right now. I'm gonna see if I get him and Bill on, bro. Adrian Clark just said that the fight, Devin and Norman ain't fighting. He just posted that. Tyler Dunley, what's up? Ray Davis, what's up, family? Chosen Kid, what's up, family? Hey Ray, he just posted that. I just sent him a text. My Egypt, peace of bless, Queen. How you feeling today? Yeah, that's what he posted, man. I'm trying to see what's really good. Man, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. This fight need to go down, bro. This fight need to go down, bro. I don't know what that was about. What's that about? Sakari San Francisco, what's up, family? I don't know what that's about. I'm trying to find out. They said Bill will have definitely put something out on social media that is not like him, but they verbally agreed. Yeah, I'm Bill. Bill gonna come on in a little while anyway. I'm gonna hit Bill up, but Adrian put it out there, so that's why. Oh, the sun coming through. Perfect. That's perfect. I'm trying to see what's really good with that, bro. Need these links. Man, my shoulders be tweaking, bro. Bro, getting old and going to the gym. Getting old and going to the gym is nasty work. It's hard, bro. Oh man, I need these. I need these links. Peebo, Peebo. Fight Sports Talk. What's up, Bud? Was always going to retire after the fight. I can see that. Ty Dunn, I sure hope that's not happening. At least not until after the fight. Yeah, I don't want to hit up Bill yet. I want to see what Adrian had to say because he put that out. He put it out there. Adrian put it out there, so I'm trying to see what he's talking about. Adrian put that out there. I'm gonna show y'all what he put out there. I'm gonna show y'all what Adrian put out there. So we're gonna get on Mark Eda, pack him up. What's up? I'm a huge fan of yours. Much respect, OG. It's true that you did used to mentor Champ side. No, that's not true. Christian Lewis, what's up? I don't even know where that came from. That's not true. This is what Adrian put. You see it? I don't know if y'all can see. Oh. OSL, what's up? Anthony Ingram, Liba 926. What's up, family? He said, show the arthroscopic time. I'm not trying to do that, bro. That calls for me to stop hitting the gym, and I ain't trying to stop hitting the gym, bro. You seen that, Ray? You see what I just put? So I'm about to bring on Shamar Canal, and I'm about to bring on promoter Amber. We're going to talk. They got an upcoming event. Shamar Canal, y'all know, is with Devin DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, with my brother Peebo as his manager. So we're going to bring them on say quickly. Yeah, man. I don't know what that's about, bro. I hit up Adrian. That's my dude right there. Adrian's my dude, so he always keep it funky with me. Keep it funky. Yeah, Adrian, my dude. Keep it funky. Yeah, Adrian always keep it 110 with me. So I'm trying to see what he talking about because this is diabolical, bro. This is diabolical. G tied it up. What up, nephew? He said these are diabolical. Yeah. Herman Paya, what's up? Press, what's up? Devin ducked again, not surprised. Duck what? Who did he duck before? Unknown, what's up? Canelo is Floyd's son. What's up? What are you talking about? Just say anything. Shut man, y'all annoy me, bro. I can't stand y'all, bro. Just can't. There's a video up now with the interview of Norman Jr. He talks potentials. Ruben Gutierrez, what's up, man? Whoa, Alicia is looking kind of muscular. Norman ain't did nothing but punch a few C-level guys out. Yeah, dude talking about Yeah, I mean, dudes just be making stuff up, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Why do people Dev ducked again? Who did he duck before? That makes no sense, bro. Yeah, I don't even know what these dudes is talking about. These dudes, people just make up stuff, man. Took his manhood. So, yo, boo boo, you're one of the realists in the boxing community. I appreciate you, family. Much love. That's love, family. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know, Blue. I can't find anything stating. But the thing is, Ray. What's the name? Put that up, Ray. What's the name? Put that up. His manager. His manager just put that up. His manager put that up. There you go. Two division world champion, Hall of Famer, retired superstar boxer, colorful analyst. My brother, Timothy Desert Storm Bradley in the building. What's up with your champ? He says Haney versus Norman Jr. real. Both sides said that they agreed to everything. Klotz, what's up? But now Adrian just put up Brian Norman last night. Brian Norman did an interview and said that everything was done. He was just waiting for the official contract to come through so he could sign his portion. Devin had already signed his portion. Then Brian Norman Sr. said that Junior just signed his portion, but right now, his manager, AC Adrian Clark, he put up that was quick. Then he said fight not. He said he was told. That's what's throwing me off because he said, well, that was quick unless I'm being punked. I'm told there's no fight between Norman and Haney. But he's the manager. So that's why I hit up Adrian, like, bro, he's the whole manager. Who's telling him that? Alan Lamb, what's up? This is what Adrian put up. I don't know if y'all can see it. Is it because sometimes y'all say is reversed? Y'all say it'd be backwards sometimes. So maybe I gotta do it like that. King Ferg, what's up? Can y'all read it clearly, or is it backwards? Because Joshua Williams, what's up? CT Fat Boy, what's up? But I showed y'all what Brian Norman Jr. said. He said that he agreed to everything. He was just waiting for Haney. Do need to fight. I love this fight for Devin Haney, man. It gives him the opportunity to prove so many different things, bro. It's so many. I love this fight for both, champ. My easy said, "Oh, it's straight." Okay, y'all can see it. I love this fight for both of them, right? Because it's a big opportunity for both of them. It's a big opportunity for both of them, right? Let me see if I could find where Brian Norman said. Brian Norman said that he agreed to the purse. He said the fight was more than likely going to be in Riyadh season in November. And again, like you said, champ, Devin needs this fight. I agree. D-Boy Dev, what's up? And Brian Norman needs this fight. It's, for Brian Norman, it's the perfect opportunity, right? Haney's defense team, what's up, family? It's the perfect opportunity for Brian Norman at a very young age to beat a fighter who's highly accomplished. It's a great opportunity and is a big name, right? Great opportunity for Brian Norman to make a statement. Now, you made statements against the Jin Sasakis and the Santillions of the world, right? You struggled with what's dude name? Battle Rap Rob Mr. B More. What's up, family? Damn, what's dude name he was struggling with? Oh man, I forgot dude name. And I was just literally just watching the fight. Literally. I was just watching the fight with him and wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Quentin Randall, excuse me. Wow, that's wild. Him and Quentin Randall. I was just watching a fight with him and Quentin Randall while I was in the gym. Champ said Brian Norman is better. Brian Norman is better than Ryan Garcia. Agreed.
Tim! Yo, Tim, you been cooking lately. Tim, you cooking. I know you probably like, I'm always cooking, brother. What you talking about? Catch up. brother. I'm always cooking, brother. Hey. You just need to catch up.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. In so many ways. Miss Dopamine and Euphoria, peace and blessings, Queen. How you feeling today? I agree with you. Akando Samuel San, what's up? I agree. It's so many questions that that Devin can answer in the fight with Brian Norman. And here's what I'm gonna say, right? Here's what I want to say about it, champ. Check this out. It checks a box for Devin Haney himself in private. I mean, as a person, you can tell us whatever you want to tell us. You know what I'm saying? Chris, like, what's up? I was just listening to Shane Mosley say why he was so upset with Devin Haney. He said that all camp, he said, yo, Shane Mosley said there's nobody that could beat Devin Haney at 140 and 147 if he's doing what he's seen him do in sparring in the gym and then against him in a small ring. He said, I was disappointed in what I seen him do in the fight to the point where I asked Bill, like, bro, did you tell him to run? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that if you only you know, right? So you go in there with Brian Norman and you beat Brian Norman because, again, Boots is a different type of dude, right? Mentally, right? Physically and all these good things. But nobody is running towards fighting Brian Norman Jr., right? It's like a high risk, low reward, right? What's the point in fighting Brian Norman Jr., right? He can I could assure you that PBC ain't gonna put Rolly in there with Brian Norman Jr. Joe Johnson, what's up, nephew? I could assure you PBC ain't gonna put. They ain't trying to put Mario Barrios in there with Brian Norman. Should he beat Manny, which I think he might lose. They ain't trying to put Rolly in there with Brian Norman because he can destroy everything, right? He can upset the apple cart, right, Clay? But he's so athletic. He's so explosive. He got a left hook, right? He put the package together. He's a problem, right? It's just it's just like we watching his growth in real time, right? So we didn't see him put the package together, right? Quentin Randall fight, what was the dude named Boca Chica, whatever?
Boca Chica, yeah.
It was like, bro, it's like
it seemed like he was digressing for a minute there. It really did seem like
right.
it was going in a bad direction for him. It seemed like as the competition got up, it seemed like he just was starting to get exposed a little bit. But he sat down and decided that, you know what, I'm a violent fighter, bro, and maybe I'm trying to finesse too much. Maybe I'm trying to box too much. Maybe I'm trying to play. I'm looking too deep into it. Let me just be violent, do dirt to these dudes, get them out of here, and then, you know. But still, Blue, this is a big opportunity for both these guys.
That's what I was saying.
It's an opportunity for Brian Norman to show that he's got wrinkles to his game, that, you know, it's a little bit of redemption with the Boca Chica fight, because the Boca Chica fight, people had him down on the scorecards, really, you know, even though it went to a no contest, they were like, he about to probably be the one he loses. It's a big opportunity. I hope that that Mr. Haney comes on tonight, because I would like to ask him some questions about, you know, just generally just speaking, just like, yo, is this really what you guys ideally looked at getting into at 147? Was a Brian Norman? Was there any other fight that would, because it just seems like he's jumping right into the actual fire? Because on the back end of a victory, Blue, here, in the back end of a great performance, Devin Haney's back on top of the world, bro. Because this might be the most dangerous fighter right now between 135 to 140. So I would say 54 to a degree, but no, 54 got crazy dangerous people. But who's punching harder than Brian Norman right now off that knockout of the year? Who's more dangerous? You're in imminent danger. And coincidentally, of course, knocking out Jin Sasaki with a left damn hook. You know what I'm saying? And this man doesn't remember nothing for 6 weeks, man. This is a crazy fight. This is big.
And that's what I'm saying, right, Clay? Because what it does for Devin Haney is it would do so much for him, because for his this would be the biggest puncher he faced in his prime.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. By far, right? I mean, Linares was that dude. But Linares was older, right?
Yeah.
Gamboa was older, right?
Yeah. This is
young, explosive. Dangerous. Ryan Garcia don't have the athletic ability and the boxing skills, right? What this would do for Devin Haney to win this fight, now he may or may not himself, not Bill, not nobody, right? I'm just talking solely Devin himself. What this can do for his confidence and his mentality when he lay his head on the pillow. If you go in there, and not the performance that you fought against Jose Ramirez, but to give us a great performance, right? And beat Brian Norman. Now, obviously, when it's over, myself, the peopleizations here in the building, Tim Bradley, we're gonna give them credit, right? The haters are still gonna hate. They're gonna say Brian Norman.
It is what it is.
Yeah, they're gonna say Brian Norman wasn't this, Brian Norman wasn't that, right? But we know the threat that he represents. You know what I'm saying?
And they know it too until Devin wins.
Right. Exactly.
Then he represented no threat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. So my thing is, and salute to Pop Shop Talk, brother in Super Chat, dropping that cinco on us in Super Chat. He said, salute, Blue. What people not factoring is Jin Sasaki head hit the canvas without resistance. That was just a factor as the punch. Yeah, but he was out cold before he even hit the canvas.
Yeah, bro.
Freedom March, what's up, family? Hood Rich, what's up, family? He was out cold before he hit the canvas. Rewatch it. Real X Deal X non-deuce. What's up, family?
Yeah, don't take nothing away from what Brian Norman did, that, because that was everything that it looked like is what it was.
Right. His head hit the canvas because he was unconscious before he fell. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Take that into consideration. He was unconscious before he hit the canvas.
You saw his arms just lay down to his side, the way he laid down, bro.
He was done. That was
he didn't fall down, bro. He got laid down. You know what I'm trying to say? He didn't trip, lose balance, got hit, and then his head hit the ground. He went, no, he was his body had no life in it as it was going to the ground and bounced off the canvas. You saw his head bounce off the canvas. He couldn't
brace himself for the fall because he was knocked out cold.
Yeah, bro.
Salute to Tim. He said Haney will get his ninja and gangster card back by fighting and beating Norman Jr. Incredible. Oh, yes, 1,000%. That's what I'm saying. But not only that, right, champ? Not only that, champ. When he laid his head on the pillow himself, when he himself lay his head on the pillow at night, he answered and checked a lot of boxes for himself moving forward. That's going to give him the confidence. That's going to give him the necessary oomph moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, all right. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it somewhat, in many ways, you can't erase what we saw, right? Like you said on Above the Rim, they can't erase what we was.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Bird, what's up? They can't erase who we was, man. They can't erase who we can't erase what we saw with him and Ryan, and he can't erase the physical punishment he took from the fight. Can't erase that. But what he can do is put it to the back of his subconscious as much as possible. And moving forward, I think that him beating Brian Norman would be a problem for everybody in the welterweight division. He beats Brian Norman, bro. There's nobody at welterweight that's going to beat him. His yeah.
He knows he can weather any storm. And I think also another big thing is for the fans of Haney, the support of Haney. This right here is facing your fans' fears, because I know his fans, and I'm listening to his fans. They're scared for Devin. They don't like this. I spoke to a dude today on the panel, man. My guy Too Rich was just like, yo, man, he supports Devin, but he's like, damn, man. Like, I really think he should have took a tune-up. Like, this is really a dangerous fight, right? So a victory here recharges and recalibrates everything and rejuvenates his fan base. And I'm talking about the brand will get such a recharge. It'd be crazy. And it's opportunity for him. He just needs to answer the questions. This fight might not be needed to answer the questions. He could have picked some other fights that weren't as dangerous to answer the questions, but this one removes all doubt. There's absolutely nothing you'll be able to say to this man without looking like 100% butthurt hater. Like, you will look crazy trying to dismiss, you know what I'm saying, or not recognize this man's accomplishment in a win here.
And remember what I said, Clay, before they announced the Ramirez fight and all of that. Remember what I kept saying when everybody asked me who I want to see Devin fight with and so on and so forth. What did I keep saying? I want to see him in there with a big puncher that's athletic, because that's going to give him his confidence back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to throw me in the ocean, but throw me in the wave pool.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Don't throw me in a controlled environment. Throw me in a wave pool. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to throw me in the ocean with the tide and all that, but let me get in the wave pool.
Yeah.
Just to begin to get my feet wet. So I've been wanting. This is what I was saying from the very beginning. Give me this. Because that'll bring I know it's going to bring his because remember, Clay, I've been saying this. Freedom March, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. Appreciate you, family. Inside the square circle, my brother King Judah, envy to God. What's up, family?
I see everybody in the chat, right? And they're fighting for Devin. You know what I mean? Like, we all know what Devin. And I believe you guys, right? And yo, listen, you guys are Devin fans, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? But standing from where I sit, right, and watching, I support Devin Haney. It's very difficult for me to call myself a fan of a man. I'm not built like that. I'm be honest with you. It's not really me. And I always said, if I'm a fan of anybody, you could say Terrence, but even then, I can't. I support. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's a question. This is not about hating on Devin or just trying to take shots at him or not being his fan. And I don't care who I'm a fan of, supposedly. I can call it how I see it, which is Ryan Garcia was a very serious experience for that man. Whatever the reasons were that fueled the performance of Ryan Garcia, it doesn't change what Devin went through, the experience. And we've seen great fighters not come back from experiences like that. Now, you add to that what happened between him and Jose Ramirez and the way he performed with Jose Ramirez. However you want to look at it, he was a tune-up fight, stay busy fight. It doesn't really matter. The end result was what it was, which was going into that fight, if you weren't questioning and hoping and looking to see where Devin was at, you weren't being honest with yourself. Because I think Blue, we watched that fight and we were looking closely, right? And we were looking closely for a reason, because we knew he came off of a year break. We knew that Ryan, he got hit a whole lot by Ryan, sat on his pockets. We knew he was concussed. We knew that there was a chance. There was a chance he could I'm echoing or something. There was a chance he could not be the same. So at the end of the Jose Ramirez fight, I don't know a bunch of people who were like, Devin's back. That's not how people felt at the end of that fight. A fight against Brian Norman would remove all doubt. And once again, shout out to everybody who just knows what he will do. But nah, bro, ain't nothing like showing it. Ain't nothing like showing it. I'm sure Tim Bradley, as an analyst trying to gauge and measure what he's seeing, he's not there. He can't be there. He can't be there as an unbiased analyst who's calling it how he see it. He can't be there yet. He can't be there yet. We know what it can be. We know that he has a skill set. We know how he's built, and we know that what he came from, but we don't know that he's back. We don't know that he's back yet. A Brian Norman fight, diabolical. He's more than back. Not only is he back, he's better than when he was before he left. Better. He's better.
Let's put that on pause. We got my brother Shamar Canal in the building. What's good?
Blue blood. What's up with it?
Hey, man, I'm trying to be like you, champ.
How you doing?
Man, I'm trying to be like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a squirrel in your world, man.
Man, July 5th, one more week. And the new.
Yeah. So you got big things coming, man.
Got a lot of big things.
You remember my brother, my co-host, Claymore Rain, right?
Good, Jamal. Salute,
yeah,
man.
I do. I for sure remember you. How you doing?
How you doing, man? You smiling, you cheesing, you feeling good. Training camp is going good. You ready?
Training camp going crazy. Inshallah, we get this victory, knockout under 5 rounds.
Woo.
Okay. And you're in New Orleans, right?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay. See, I wish I was going, man. I ain't never been down there, man.
Blue Blood, you about to miss this one. You done seen the early 18-minute fights. If it went 18 minutes, we got 30 minutes to beat somebody really up.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I wish I was down there, man.
It's all good.
Where's this fight going to be at? As far as what card is it going to be on? What's this fight going to be on? A card is going to be.
It's all my card.
He's headlining his own card.
This is my card. I'm headlining underneath Amber Bishop with AKA Fights and Devin Haney Promotions.
Boom. There we go. That's what I need to know.
Yeah. I sent Amber the link. I don't know if she got it yet or not.
I don't know. It took a minute for my link to come through. I just got the link.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me try to send it to her again. Jafari Caesar, my brother in the super chat, he said Norman is Devin George Foreman. Salute, Blue. Salute to your family. Yeah, so Shamar, now how many fights is this year, man? Well, am I delayed?
This year?
No, you good.
I believe this is either 3 or 4.
So you staying active, man. You know, a lot of people don't get the opportunity. We see. I like what you're doing. You're building it, you know, on your own. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got DHP. Obviously, you got Amber and Peebo, right? But I like the fact that you know that you're building it on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Either which way, you can't go wrong, right? Like we see the negative part of it is that somebody like Abdullah Mason is televised constantly, and the world gets to see him, and we don't get to see Shamar as much, right?
It's cool though. I'll rather take the underground route because people like Abdullah Mason. When we get to the bigger stage and they finally put me on that TV time to go against him, we show who got the better skills, who could take, who can give, and we gonna see who the better fighter is. And I already know I'm the better fighter, so ain't no tripping. We're gonna get this belt, defend it, and keep moving on in the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Shamar. So you this guy you're fighting against, Brian Jimenez. Can you give us a little a little caption on like what kind of fighter this is? Is he, because I know he's from Nicaragua, so what is he coming for? Is this like an Argentinian style? Like, what are you preparing for? What kind of fighter is this guy?
I'm preparing for everything because I don't really judge a fighter based on who he fight, but I might take bits and pieces of how he fought. Sometimes he wanted to box, sometimes he wanted to come forward. So right now I'm training for everything. I'm ready to be in tip top shape and forever he want to bring to the table.
No doubt. Is there anything special about him that you would say like that this is his one special thing? So nothing
No,
really special about him. He's really
no. He ain't no Devin Haney. He ain't got nothing special.
yes. Okay. So it's an opportunity. Is he going to be in front of you? Because you said you're knocking him out in the 5th round, so he ain't running away from you, I guess, right? I
Nah,
mean,
I don't think he gonna run away, but I do feel like he gonna run away from this power once I touch him with these 8 ounces.
early.
Mm-hmm. Now you young, you know what I mean? What's your goals? What's your plan? Do you have like a bulletin board with pin marks and like by this time I want to be here, by this time I want to be here, by this time do you have that?
No, I don't right now. Everything is in all I was playing, so I'm just going by the month, staying down with my team, and we just going day by day.
Because I'm a person that's impatient. You know what I'm saying? If I was boxing, yeah, it would be hard. I'd be like, bro, I want to fight him, him, and him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel
I know it got to be hard for you, like, to take it slow. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. I for sure got a hit list on who I want to fight. It's a lot of top prospects, a couple champions. It's a lot of people on the hit list for sure.
So do you
Yeah.
put that? Do you look at fights right now, and you say, all right, let me put that red pin in this dude.
For sure.
Eventually, yeah.
For
How does
sure.
that work? Being a fighter and watching it.
It's like because I already know my skill set. I see myself in other people's shoes. Like I can beat it. I can be that person there fighting for the world titles. I can be that person fighting on the big screen. And it's like I have the best team in the boxing game. And period. Nobody's team is better than Devin Haney Promotions team. So with my skills and the game that I'm getting from them, I feel like I'm an untouchable fighter and I can beat anybody in the world.
Definitely.
And do you take let me get these super chats off so we can see it. Adelaide Choice, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. He said ASA, don't forget to
Assalamu
give
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Don't forget to give salams to Iman Orsin in Shreveport.
Masjid.
What's that?
Masjid. He's
Taquan?
yeah, he's speaking to Shamar and he's telling Shamar basically, don't
Oh.
forget to stop by the imams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a big boxing fan.
Not a masjid right now to go show some love.
Okay.
It's Shreveport.
Father Zaya, brother in the super chat, said B Norman manager just said the fight with Dev is off. Yeah, I hit him up. I don't even know what he's talking about. He ain't answer me, but that's what he put.
It's gonna be up and down until it's all said and done. You know, I don't know, man. And like I said, I have questions about him, but I mean, this is Shamar's moment right now. We're not gonna make it about that. I actually had got a question for Shamar. So you're campaigning right now, 135, right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So is this where, I mean, do you plan on making a statement here, or do you think this is just preparation to get you, like what division do you think is going to be ultimately probably where you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Where you do your thing at, like.
I honestly feel I'm still young. I'm still growing. I'm only 22 years old. So I
Exactly.
honestly feel my first pro debut I was at 126, and we
Right.
done jumped up to 135 in a matter of 3 years. 3 years now. So I feel like as my body still grows, this the calm before the storm. I started campaigning, making my name, And then I feel like 140 division, that's where it's really gonna take off world champions and probably a two-time world division.
That's probably where you meet an Abdullah Mason or meet some of these fights. Is probably going to be at 140,
For sure.
right? But the weight cut right now, I'm assuming is pretty comfortable. Like you said, you start at 126, so you're doing everything pretty comfortable right now and moving like you're
Yes,
supposed to do.
I'm very comfortable. I'm very strong, and I like 135 right now for me.
Right. So I'm saying, I know they got a plan for you, but after this one right here, you pick up this silver belt right here. Are there any fights you think that you want to make happen at 135, or are you just patiently going to do whatever you got to do? Because I feel like maybe possibly at 140, you might start getting that hit list going, right? When you start feeling it. But right now, you just more like whoever's stupid enough to jump in the room with me gonna get that work. Whoever feel like they could do it right now, come on now.
Mm-hmm. But I feel after I get this silver belt, I already know that's gonna put me top in the rankings. So I'm ready
Yep.
to jump up there and see who's the top guys, so I can prove my worthy of going to fight for a world title.
No doubt. I mean, you got the Andy Cruzes, obviously. Abdullah Mason looks like he's about to get into a title situation, though. But you
Mm-hmm.
got are you watching the Floyd Schofields? Are you watching the Tevin Farmers? Are you watching the you know what I'm saying? The Williams and Pale. Are you watching those guys who are like right there that can, because they're champions of the champions. 135 got a lot going on right now with the champions, right? Javante, Shakur, you know what I'm saying? All those guys up there and whatever's happening with the WBO title. But do you got your eyes on those guys right there? The Andy Cruzes, like, you know what I'm saying? That section right there, that top five.
Of course, everybody got their own name. They're all buzzing. They're all doing their thing. They're all staying undefeated. They put on shows. I'm for sure sitting back watching and seeing how the division plays out.
Yeah. I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that, man. Any future with Ring Magazine, with Turkey? Any future with Riyadh? Anything potentially?
Of, of course, if I get the opportunity, I'll love to take it.
Definitely. 135 is wide open right now, in my personal opinion, because I just really feel like the champions are kind of working their way out to either fight each other or move on. And it seems like the younger crew, you guys coming up, it's about to be our time to mix it up. I'm hoping, inshallah, you guys mix it up a lot better than this generation of champions did. That you guys be willing to push, you know what I'm saying? Push these fights a little bit more, because it just seems like it's been a struggle.
Yeah, the new
As I
growth
see
is
it right
definitely
now,
coming in.
for sure. As I see it, it is out with the old and with the new. I heard Javante want to retire. Lomachenko just retired. There's no the oldest champion is probably once Tank retires. The oldest champion in the division is probably 25 years old, and that's Raymond Mataya with the IBF belt.
Right, well, Shakur, right?
Yeah,
Shakur, like
Shakur, but
27.
Shakur might end up moving up. I don't see Shakur staying at 135 for this long.
Yeah,
100%.
And Keyshawn already left. Now.
Keyshawn, 26, 27 years old, moved up. Yeah. That's all the Tevin Haney era. This is the Shamar era. This is Abdullah Mason, Floyd Schofield. Like this is our generation now.
Andy there too, even though he's older, but Andy there with y'all. Andy right there with y'all.
Andy there's with us only because he want to stay in the amateurs for.
Yeah. Yo, you think about this, right?
Celebrated. He want to get celebrated, so he stayed over there.
Yo, think about this. Andy is older than everybody except Tank.
He a grown ass man, bro.
Tank is the only one older than him, bro.
Yeah.
He's older than Boots. He's older than Key. He's older than everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, almost 30.
No,
that's insane.
100%, man. It's crazy.
Now, let me ask you this, right, champ? Since we're talking about it, how you see the Tevin Farmer Schofield fight playing out?
Tevin Farmer, he's a veteran. He's a crafty fighter. At the end of the day, like nobody can do what Tevin Farmer did. So I feel as though it's gonna be a good competitive fight. Hopefully, Floyd stay in shape and don't take Tevin Farmer lightly. But I feel like it's a 75-25% fight for Floyd Schofield.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got it. You're leaning towards Floyd Schofield to do this?
I'm leaning towards Floyd.
You think it's mostly the youth, like just the youth and that energy? You think, or?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the youth, the energy. I feel like, and what he wants to do in the sport for himself. I know he wanted to be chasing Shakur and Tank, everything that's behind him. So Tevin Farmer just a stepping stone for him. So it's like a little chip on his shoulder for him to get back into the ring.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's gonna lose, man.
Don't get me wrong. I do feel he might lose, but I feel like he might end up pulling it out.
I was
You
just
feel like he should win, right? That like
yeah, I feel like he should win.
He should win.
Right.
He should win.
Yeah.
But there's some discipline issues potentially. There's some issues where
Bro, did you just see that face off right now?
No, I missed it. I didn't get none of it.
Yo, Tevin literally put his forehead on his forehead and backed him all the way up into the crowd.
Yeah, listen.
He just led him with his head all the way into the crowd. Like,
listen, Tevin, that's that Philly, man. Like,
bro,
Tevin,
I'm like, bro, push him off you.
Yeah, that's so.
But Blue, this is where the like salute to the Schofields, but this is where I don't want to say coddling, but this is the advantage you get when you let your son be a man. You know what I'm saying? And just deal with his own situations and deal with adversity. He probably was a little lost in that situation. He didn't really know how to deal with that pressure outside of the ring and that psychology of what goes on before you get in that ring. He's just like, yo, when I get in the ring, I'm gonna do my job. And that could work for him. But in a face-off with somebody like Tevin, coming from them streets of Philly, knowing that this is his last shot, knowing that he had 3 close fights, 2 big fights with Williams and Payton, knowing how close he came to it, that man is hungry, bro. It's a different type of energy. Now I agree with Shamar. Schofield should win this fight. This is his fight to win. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some psychology behind this win. I believe there's gonna be some psychology behind this win. Your mind need to be where it needs to be for this win to happen. Because Tevin to take it from you. Oh, he blanked out. You muted, Blue.
Oh, it's me. Can you hear me?
No. I don't know if he's there. He is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
I want y'all to see this, man. Just look at this, bro. Yo, this is
man.
Watch how you push him.
As a grown man, you should not be having another grown man push his head up against your head like that.
Bro, and then just to be like, it is what it is, like, bro, what you mean? Yeah, he's scowling on him.
Some people can do that though, right? Like some people can really keep it. He can get intense all of a sudden in the ring. They just get intense right there, like and they're real peace and passive outside of there. But yeah, this fight right here is a big fight for Floyd Schofield Jr. It's a big deal. I think it's a real big deal because it's been a choppy year for the Schofields. It's been a choppy year. You know what I'm saying? To say the least, it's been a crazy year for them, man.
Bad year. Now, Champ, what's some of the names that you could tell us that you sparred? Obviously, I know you sparred Dev, but what's some of the names that you could say that you spar? You know what I mean? To get you prepared. And do you spar? Because I saw Terrence Crawford say this, right? And somebody else has said this. I forgot who it was, but I know I seen Terrence Crawford say that he spars everybody bigger than him because they can't take his power. You got a lot of power. So Terrence always says like he don't spar guys his size because they can't take the power, so it's pointless, right? I think it was Brian Norman might have said. I think it's Brian Norman, but you got a lot of power. A lot of people don't know that. You know, I'm privy to know that people. He got a lot of power, right? Shamar got, and he rangy. He rangy, right? So if you never seen him in person, bro, he's rangy with a lot of power. So is that something that you deal with? Like everybody you spar is typically bigger?
Right now, ever since I've been starting camp, I've been sparring everybody bigger than me. Right now, my main sparring partner is a 160 pounder. So, but when I do spar people that is 130 or 135, between 130 to 140, it's kind of easy. Like they can't really take the power for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I'm the more I'm around sparring, the more I'm witnessing it. I'm noticing a lot of guys that are smaller guys that have power. They typically spar big guys. Now, does that affect you though when you get in the ring, because now your opponent is more faster? He may not be able to take the power, but he's not the big dude that's slower. Does that
the timing and everything, right?
Yeah, does that mess with your timing?
Me personally, I say no because I do have multiple sparring partners where I like my main sparring partner would be bigger than me, and then I'll probably switch down to slightly about my same size so I can get the speed and everything like that to keep the IQ sharp.
Yeah, because I know um that could be a big issue, for guys when you're dealing with that. Now, how often do you spar Dev?
I normally spar dev whenever we get into pre-camp or if we're actually in camp. It all depends on how the camp goes.
Mhm. Somebody asked in the chat. They said Kenneth Sims was sparring with Dev. Did you get to spar with him?
No, I didn't get to spar with dev. With that.
All right, breaking up. Salute to my brother Carlos Dixon in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. What's good, Blue and Clay? Man, we just squirrels in your world, great brother. You the man.
That all.
That's it.
That all, man.
We just trying to push through. You know what I mean?
Blue, but the future of 135 is looking. I mean, because honestly, I can even see some guys coming up from 130 to go into 135 without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, there's opportunity right now for a young fighter like Shamar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's clearing the way, right?
Yeah.
My only thing is, is the politics. You know what I'm saying? Because it cleared the way for us to get the fighters that we wanted. Think about this, right, Clay? We couldn't wait. It presented Devin, T.O., Tank, Ryan, Lomachenko, all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he fell off. All at the same time, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We only got a few of those fights.
Well, I mean, we need the willing. We need the willing opponents, right? We need the people who are going to. And I want to ask Shamar about that too, as well, to a degree. But I mean, I don't even know if he can give us the answer to it. But we watch how Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford almost slipped by, and we almost didn't get that, right? But when it all came down to it, at the end of the day, it took Errol and Terrence to really make it happen, right? Which shows that these fighters can. I don't want to say force it, but they can. It takes the fighters to want to fight each other and make it a point to their promoters, right? To like, this is the fight I want. There's no other fight I want besides this one. It takes that, and the willingness of these fighters to do that. I'm looking at Turki Al-Sheikh. I'm looking at this option and this opportunity for the best fight to be made in spite of the politics, and I'm wondering if this is inspiring more of an independent energy from these fighters to not be so quick to sign a 5-year, $5 million deal with the promoter. You know what I'm saying? To even allow them.
That's diabolical, Clay.
I'm just saying. I hope that, you know what I mean? Whoever shoots that whoever shoots those shoes, you know what I'm saying? That will allow them to have the freedom to move as they need to move to get the fights that they need to have to in order to fulfill the legacy that they're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, keep talking, Clay. I'm trying to find out what's going on with this Devin Brian Norman situation, man.
Yeah, that situation. Did you see what happened with the coach Malachi in that little interaction between Brian Norman and Bill?
No, what happened?
Man, bro. That's why I said I need to talk to Bill. I'm like, Bill, I need to talk to you. What happened? So Brian Norman basically is saying that Bill was, pushing a farce, right? Basically saying that he's painting this picture as if he has this hit list and he's calling out fighters and he's the one who's pushing to make this fight happen. But the reality he's saying is that Turki Al-Sheikh was pushing for this fight to happen for Devin, whether Bill liked it or not, and that Bill in turn is maybe manipulating or painting a picture that that he's pushing, that Devin's a Debo or pushing for this fight to happen. But in all reality, this is Turki pushing and forcing the issue. So Bill comes. I know he's on there. Hopefully he can hear me too, but I know he's talking. But Bill comes up, confronts him, and it ends up where Bill ends up like, really getting at Brian Norman, pretty much call his mother out her name, and it just got real nasty. It got real nasty, and it just seemed like potentially Bill maybe got triggered, upset. And I want to know what upset him. I want to know what threw him, because that was, for me, it was not in the characteristics of what I normally see him do. That's how I felt. I felt like it was out of his character a little bit. But
I didn't see that interaction. I didn't see what happened.
Seemed like he got upset. What's up, Shamar? We back.
You're back, champ.
I'm back. That
No.
was my trainer Rodney calling me.
Okay.
Rodney?
Hey, man, priorities.
Yeah.
Hey, where Rodney at, man?
Rodney right here in the gym. I'm about to call him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my dude right there.
Let me go get him right now.
Hey, you ever talked to Rodney, Clay?
Nah, never.
Hey, that's my dude right there, bro. Yeah, he keep it 100, 120.
Yeah.
Where you at, Top Rank?
Nah, we over at Mayweather.
Oh, yeah, Floyd's? Okay.
What, they out in Vegas?
Hey, man, Rodney, that's my dude, man. Rodney got stories for days, bro. Clay, Rodney got stories for days, bro.
Hello?
There you go.
Hey,
What's
what's
going
up,
on?
man?
What's going on with you, champ?
Man, you know me, man. Trying to get it done.
Yes,
What's up with
sir.
you, dog?
Yes, sir. Hey, Rodney, that's my co-host, my man Clay.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, hey, what's happening, champ?
I'm doing good, man.
Hey, Rod, we trying to be like you, man. You know what I'm saying? You that
Man,
dude,
now
man.
here you go, man.
You know what I'm
Here
saying?
you go, man.
You know that
You
you
the
know you
richest
that
dude in New
dude.
York, man. People don't even know you the richest guy in New York, man. Come on, baby.
I'm just trying to be like you, man. That's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything good with you, champ?
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. I see you putting that work in.
Oh yeah, man. Got to, man.
What
24/7, bro. Got to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you got Shamar doing now?
Oh man, Shamar working good, man. He's been sparring, been getting right, get that bullshit up out of him. You know what I'm saying? Get
Uh-huh.
him, back focused.
Right.
But he ready to do something, man. He ready.
Now, Rod, you being a vet in this game, man. If you had to compare his tools, his skill set, what would you compare it to?
Hey man, listen, I call him Tommy Sugar because
Oh,
he got
wow.
he got that Tommy Hearn right hand, man. That mug like, hey, we've been working on that, man. Hey, it's perfect. And he can throw that flurry at any moment, bro. And like I say, I even tell him, give me that Tommy Hearn, that Tommy Sugar, and that motherfucker just let them mugs go, man. He's ready. You know what I'm saying? Since I've been working with him, man, he done grown into a man, man. He was a little kid, but now he hitting like a man. I mean, one shot you out. It don't take no, combinations, man. He got one of the powerful right hands out there, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to people, Rod, just seeing Shamar and his growth and over time and the power with his range, he's linky. It's you don't expect him to have that type of power, man. And he could put you out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, like I say, people don't understand. He got that pedigree. He had a bunch of fights. He had a bunch of fights, and we've been just working, man. And he just turned into a little monster, man. Like a lot of people don't see him as one of the powerhouses, man. But we've been in Top Rank ripping up stuff. He didn't been in there with the best, so you know he up next. Like you got all these guys coming up. We already sparred them already. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no threat. And then we sparred the Mason brothers. We did this, we did that. We already know what we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it's hard for me because I know I'm there. I seen it. But go ahead, Clay. You got some questions for Rod?
Not really. I mean, we're pushing Shamar right now at 135, right? That's what we're doing. We're pushing him at 135, and I talked to him about, this. It seems like a out with the old, in with the new thing happening at 135, slowly but surely, right? We watched Keyshawn trick himself out the
Yeah,
division. We're watching Shakur Stevenson get the last bit or whatever he's gonna get in the division. We're watching Javante Tank Davis act like he don't want to be in boxing no more. Lomachenko just retired. And then we got Abdullah Mason. We got this new breed. We got Andy. We got
yeah,
Shamar. We got these new guys
yeah.
coming up.
Hey,
Going
hey,
in,
you got to go ahead.
no, I was gonna say going into this next chapter of the 135-pound division. Are we gonna have a more willingness from these fighters to make these fights happen? It was a struggle at this point to see
Yeah,
any type of unification at 135. How do you feel about the division right now going to this next chapter? Are we getting ready to go into a new era in the 135-pound weight class division, or an era into wherever Shamar is at, to making the fights and fighting to make the big fights?
yeah. See what Shamar got is, when I was working with Devin Haney, he went to the top and he grabbed all the belts. You know what I'm saying? Shamar saw that, and in his mind right now, that's what he want. He want to go up there and claim victory. Like I say, these guys good, but he got a punch, and like I say, he's been tested. Like I say, I mean, I don't mess with a fighter unless they get their ass whooped a couple of times. He been there, he overcame it, and like he was Devin's sparring partner for a while. So he took a couple. You know what I'm saying? So now he didn't grow it up, and now he's really turning into the real guy that he's becoming, one of the top fighters out there.
Yeah. It's
And,
it's it's
and
it's
just and
under.
just so y'all know, Rodney is well accomplished in the sport, well accomplished trainer. And how long you been in the sport, Rod?
Man, about 40 some years, man. I'm 62.
Damn.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I've been in
Yeah,
here a minute.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
And well accomplished and worked with great fighters and everything, man. Just so y'all know, I didn't give him his proper due roses when he came on, because that's my guy in real life,
Oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
but Rodney is he's not talking from a place of inexperience. Just to let you guys know in the building, and Clay, just to introduce it,
For sure.
Rodney is well accomplished in the sport, well renowned in the sport of boxing, and has been in the sport of boxing. I know it's my guy, so when he came on, I just went into, what I mean. But
Yeah, yeah. I just let my work speak for itself, man. I ain't
yeah,
no braggadocious coach or nothing like that, man. I just let my work speak for itself. I done took
just,
some fighters and turned
yeah,
them over, man. Did some good things. I had Sam Peter, Babu Shumanov, Johnny Rice, Jeremiah Milton, just to name a few. And I can go back further than that, but these guys that these guys is coming up now, like Shamar. I mean, he got what it takes, man. I don't think he's really put the serious part down yet. He's still kind of playing, but when it's time, I think he's gonna step up and just upset a lot of people, man.
and just,
I mean,
Clay, you know who that Rodney is. When you listen into the we always laugh about this. When you listen to training stuff, you hear the guy in the back, stick him.
Yeah.
speed, quick.
That's him.
Yeah,
That's him. That's
that's me.
Rodney.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
Speed,
yeah.
stick him. That's him.
yeah, but no,
That's right.
like I say, Shamar speak for himself, man. He been in his game a while, man. He been seeing all these guys getting their roses and flowers, and now I think it's his turn to come up and start doing things. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I say, he got what it takes, and only person can mess it up is him. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I think we got him on a good path, and he's working hard. He ain't scared to get in there with nobody in the ring. I mean, he'll get in there, bigger guys, whatever. I put him in there, 168. I don't care. And see what he can do. And he
Mm-hmm.
hold his own. So it's nothing about him that I'm scared of. I know he can fight. He can take a good punch, and I'm talking about he doable. He got the experience. See, a lot of guys don't got that pedigree. You know, they just throwing punches, they hard and whatever, but he got that pedigree. He been with everybody in the world, you know, at that weight, you know. And now, you know, where he was a lighter weight, now he's coming up, and that's where his power was really, you know, improving at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Is boxing a lifestyle for him at this point, or is
Yes,
he still? Are we still down? So this is outside and inside the ring, eating,
yes,
sleeping, moving,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
yes,
We're on the same accord. We on a mission.
yes, yes. You know,
Yeah.
like the last few fights, he just been so devastating, you know, body shots, stopping guys with hard body shots. Right hand, man. We've been working on that right hand so much, man. Hey, everybody touch with it, man. You know. So I already know I got a pretty good fighter down there. He a doable guy. You know, he got a fucked up record, but he's doable. And man, Shamar just touched him with that right hand, man. That man hit the ground so quick. I want to say his name and put him out there, but I'm telling you, Shamar, you know, he putting guys down with 16 ounces on. When you put on them little small eights, hey, I feel sorry for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what y'all got going now today? Y'all going to get sparring in?
We sparring tomorrow, but today we gonna work. We gonna do a lot of bag drills. This right here, the last, you know, hard training we gonna do. So I'm gonna put them through a lot of bag drill. You know, get them arms, you know, ready so they won't get tired. You know,
Right. Well, I
yeah.
appreciate you, Rod. I know you got work to get to.
All right, champ, man.
Yes,
Love to
sir.
see you, man. You know,
Yeah,
keep doing.
I'll be out there in a couple weeks.
Okay, hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Okay, champ.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, champ.
Appreciate you.
All right,
Appreciate you, Rodney.
All right. All right,
thanks,
later.
thanks, guy.
All right, later. Sean, what
Mhm.
up, kid?
I
What's
seen
up
him
with it?
working the mid too.
How you feeling?
Good, chilling. Finna go work out. Finna get this work in.
You putting that work in?
Come on now, getting ready for sparring in the morning.
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm
That's
in
what's
camp
up.
with my boy Mar. It's only right.
That's what's
Yeah.
up, man. Hey, Sean,
Hey,
man, what flipped the switch for you to say, listen, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this
What
boxing thing?
happened?
um, basically, it's just I'm sparring some good guys, and I was doing good against them. So I was like, I just want to try. I like the lifestyle. I like, and I feel like I just have the the good enough team to go all the way.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, listen, you got a head start, kid.
For
Yeah,
sure. For
no, for
sure. You
sure.
said
I've
you
been
came
around it
out
my
of
whole life.
nowhere though. It felt like you came out of nowhere. All of a
I've been
sudden, I was just like, I thought, weren't you playing like tennis or something before, or
Hmm.
something like you was active or
Yes,
something?
yes.
So, are you still
Yeah, I
doing
was
that
playing
though?
tennis. No, no, no. I put my full focus to boxing, you know, and I'm getting good at it quick. Just sparred a four-time national champion yesterday. You know, I think we did 4 rounds, some hard
Mhm.
sparring, you know,
No doubt. No doubt.
catching
No
up.
doubt. So you dialed in. You've made a choice right now. You're not
Locked
playing with
in,
it. You're not experimenting. This is it.
fully locked in.
All right. All right.
Yeah, man.
Family, the
I can
family
see the
business.
commitment. So you fully committed. That's dope,
Yeah,
man.
yes.
How is working with tennis? Because I know you got to have lateral movement and everything with tennis. That
I
helps
got
you,
good
right?
footwork. I already came in the game with good footwork. I
Yeah.
already came into the game using my hips to get that power, and every time I land a good right hand or a hook, they always call the sparring off.
You think the tennis? Do you think the tennis background? I don't know how long you were playing, but I know it's for a while. You think that is that benefiting you at all inside that ring with the with the footwork and things of that nature? Because you got to be a little
Yeah, I
agile.
mean,
You've
I
been
came
training.
yes from the tennis. I came in with good footwork. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I came in with the good hip rotation. The good hand-eye coordination. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it helped me. It helped me in some parts of the game.
Right. Right. Right.
Hmm. What's the toughest part about boxing right now that you like? I ain't realized this was that hard.
Um, I mean, it's all fun to me. I love the game, so nothing. You know, it's nothing really is hard, like to where I'm like, oh, like I don't want to do this. But if I have to say something, probably like the weight cut. You know,
Mm.
I've been joining in on Shamar with the weight cut. For Devin with Ramirez, I was joining in on the weight cut. And that's probably the hardest part.
Yeah,
And
just the fight.
I have a fight in August, so I'm gonna see how that weight cut goes.
Oh, where it's gonna be at?
I'm gonna do a show. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I will be, dropping the details probably later this week.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up to that. I'll definitely be there.
Bro.
So man, we gonna get Devin, Brian Norman? What's going on, man?
Hey man, you seen we signed our side of the contract.
Oh, we doing that. So you guys are done. You guys already put did your part. You wait.
We signed it. We sent it. Now it's just up to him. I don't really know what's going on. I heard something went on, but I haven't been on my phone like that. I just walked into the gym.
Okay.
So how many days? How many times a day you go to the gym?
I do strength and conditioning. Then I come to the gym probably twice. Then I'll go run. So I'm at the boxing gym twice. Then I'm at strength and conditioning once, and then I'm running.
And so you run every day. How many miles a day you running?
Depends on how I'm feeling. Sparring days, I'll probably run like 4. Normal day, I'll probably run like 6, 5.
Man, that's dope, man. Hey, man, I can't wait to see your transition, man, into the sport, man. That's exciting, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. I'm finna go.
Sure.
I'm finna go wrap up. Appreciate it.
All right, Sean.
Be safe, man.
All right.
It's a family business, Blue. It's a family business, man.
Yeah. And let me tell you guys something about Sean, right? When he was doing tennis, right? His commitment to that was dialed in.
Right.
Like
you went all the way.
So much so, right, Clay? He had Bill build him a tennis court in the backyard. So he could work on his craft. It was never like it's so he take that mentality into boxing.
You think it's gonna translate well?
It should translate well. Now, obviously, tennis is nobody's hitting you back, right?
Right. But still, man, it's still he still got some foundational grit that he has there that's gonna help him weather whatever storms. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, listen, nothing's promised, but that's not a bad foundation to start something on top of.
And to have that's like to have the lateral foot movement, because you got to have it's like baseball, you know what I'm saying? Tennis.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, do you think the tennis translates and helps you in all these, in the footwork and the hand-eye coordination and all those different things that you need for boxing? There's a lot of that. I was questioning him, there's a lot of that translate into boxing. I know it sounds extreme for some people to be like, come on, tennis, he's hitting the balls. The same thing like baseball players. Baseball players are known to punch pretty hard, bro. Period. You know what I'm saying? Pitchers punch hard, bro. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? They punch hard naturally. It's because the way that those movements and the way they work out translates well into striking and into, to throwing their hands. So, for him in the footwork that he says he brings in, it probably does feel a little natural for him, being that he's all about footwork in tennis. He's all about hand-eye coordination to hit that ball in tennis.
And the stamina that you got to have in tennis to keep.
Yeah, that man said he running 4 miles minimum, 5 to 6 miles normally. Yeah, bro. I don't know how many times people have been on a run, bro. That's not,
bro. And Clay, you gotta think, right? In tennis, bro, in that heat, but he's playing tennis in Vegas.
On top of that black top, or on top of that concrete.
Man, listen,
no trees overhead, no nothing.
Man, going back and forth laterally on your conditioning got to be bizarre. It has to be bizarre. So Brian Norman's team haven't responded. I reached out to everybody. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, man, because AC put that up.
Who put that? AC Clark?
He just sent me a message. Hold on. Let me listen to this.
Yeah, this fight right here is it makes you question, you know what I mean? Like it makes you question what the holdup is, right, ladies and gentlemen? It makes you question what is the holdup. A fight like this that's building up this type of that's building up this type of energy. Everybody wants this fight to happen at this point. Bill has been pushing for this fight, supposedly. Brian Norman, so much has been talked, and the knockout of the Brian Norman did on Jensen Saki, like people are just finding it hard to believe from day one. They find it hard to believe that Devin would even get into a fight like this. So to get all these stories and this roller coaster ride going up and down about how these negotiations are going and this fight getting put together, it's just
okay. So he said that there's something going on with Saudi Arabia on their end, that the fight's supposed to take place in Riyadh. So they trying to get it together. But Top Rank lawyer said the fight ain't gonna be no fight until they figure out something with Saudi. He said that they agreed to this, that Brian's getting his highest payday. So they told him it's gonna be in Riyadh season. They agreed to everything. And he said that now it's an issue with something with Saudi. So
But isn't that the issue that we were just talking about with these 5-year, $5 million deals, no pun intended for nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Working with these promotional companies, these Top Ranks, the Match Rooms, the Golden Boys, the PBC, and all these companies, it always seems like it comes down to that, right? Both these fighters want to make this fight happen. Brian Norman's already in line to make his biggest paycheck ever. The money makes sense. So what is it that Saudi could have going on that can get in the way of what is Top Rank's lawyer? What's the box that's not being checked that needs to be checked in order for this to be finalized? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's always the politics that get in the way.
And that's why I'm saying with the freedom and the independence, and you know, with Shamar,
do you think, Clay, is something where Top Rank want to be, because Brian Norman is a big deal now? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's probably something. I think it's about benefiting or not benefiting a promotional company more than it is the fighters. I think it's more about that than the fighters. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think it's more about, hold on, man, we trying to get our piece straightened up and squared away and how it's going to get happen before we can let you do nothing. I think it's that.
Right.
You know, it's the thing that makes Bill do what he's been doing from the beginning, which is that independence, keeping that independence. It's that restriction. You know what I'm saying? That Bill shook very early in the game, was like, no, we're not doing it like that. When we need to move, we need to be able to move, bro. We don't want to sit here satisfying your needs. You know what I'm saying? Being worried about your needs, bro. Our needs should be your needs. If we winning, you should be winning. You feel me? That's how it should work. When you watch Sebastian Fundora vacate a title, when you watch David Benavidez not make an opportunity, it's these are the things. And this is what makes somebody like Turki focus on, like, saying, I don't want to deal with promoters. I just want to deal with the fighters. Nobody wants to play this game. We want to make the best fight the best. As long as the two fighters are on board, what else should we be talking about? And whenever we have to talk about something else, it's too much.
Because you know what happens. Pop Shop Talk, let me rent you up. And take a moment right now, people, if you have not, and go subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Take a minute and subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Please subscribe to my brother's channel, man. Claymore Rain. Subscribe to his channel, man.
Appreciate you guys in advance, man.
Yes, sir. Pop Shop Talk, let me rent you up, brother. You've been here for a minute, man. Let me rent you up.
On my channel all the time, too.
Yeah. Pop Shop Talk, man. Let me rent you up.
Truck driver.
Miss Rain, peace and blessings, Queen.
Bibbs.
What's good? Paul Bunyan, what's up, family? Yeah, Clay. Do you think it's because this seems like this is a situation where we have Brian Norman and Devin saying they want to fight, right?
Right.
And Turki like, okay, let me make it happen. And Top Rank probably like, wait, we had plans to do
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
We was gonna take Brian Norman and we was gonna go this way with him and that way with him. And you got to think on the back end of this, they're pretty much there, right? I'm not sure if that has the agreement between them and ESPN expired yet? Like, is it officially expired yet? Or
the last fight is July 26th, I think.
July 26th, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Xander Zayas where Shushu and all them going to be fighting at. So, you know, this is a weird time for them as well, as they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with network deals and we don't know how they're selling their roster. If they're selling, you know what I mean, a champion, a welterweight champion, knockout, a guy like Brian Norman who just had knockout of the year, probably, helps leverage a little bit amenities with these networks or whatever streaming services, however they plan on approaching their next big deal. So they probably kind of frozen, right? They probably don't want to do nothing else until after this event.
Oh,
it might just be bad timing.
Check this
right?
out, Clay. Eastside Easy, what's up? 504, what's up, family? Lorenzo Bond said the White House is preparing to issue a cease travel Americas to the Middle East. That is why WWE event in Saudi Arabia is threatening to be canceled. Wow. That makes sense.
That part.
But again, why can't the fight Turkey? So Turkey can't travel here? Right relationship. What's up?
He can, but they probably got to pull the trigger on it. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wondered if that would affect anything that was going on in the Middle East with Iran and everything. I was like, damn, is that going to affect the way Saudi kind of facilitates? Is that going to, affect the way they deal business? Because it's kind of crazy out there right now.
Yeah, Clay, so is the U.S. going to allow Turkey to come into the States?
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's going to be no issues with that. I think the U.S. has a beautiful relationship with Saudi Arabia. Trump and the Prince of Saudi Arabia are like best of friends. Like, and Saudi's investing a lot into the American economy. They're investing a lot into the military. They're investing a lot. Trump just came from over there about 4 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. And got some money over there.
Yeah, he secured like, I don't know how many billions of dollars.
Yeah,
I don't know
$800 billion or something like that, right?
Yeah, something crazy. He ain't got no issues with Saudi.
So then why would we have a ban to go over there?
Because probably just off the strength of terrorism and things of that nature, and things that can happen.
The threat in itself.
Yeah, from outside of Saudi, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? They shot missiles at Qatar the other day. Right? Isn't Qatar in Saudi?
Yeah.
Isn't Qatar in Saudi?
Yeah.
Right. So they had to knock missiles out the sky from hitting the base in Qatar. So it's a dicey situation going on there, right? You like to think that it can be compartmentalized and kind of sectioned off, and like what that got to do with us. But listen, war don't got no
boundaries. Yeah.
Boundaries. Everybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When especially when you talk about terrorism.
Yeah. Paul Bunyan, my brother in the super chat. Much love, family. NHD Production, what's up? Oh man, I hope we get this straight, Clay.
Okay, Born Rich. He said Qatar is its own country. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I thought it was like I thought it was in Saudi too.
Oh, is it like Dubai?
Probably, I would think.
Yeah, because I'm gonna hit up Bill, man. Let me hit Bill up. Let me see what he doing. What he talking about?
Qatar. Yeah, it's his own country. Yep, I'm reading. It's its own country. Yep. It's its own country.
Hold up, Bill, right now. Big Herm, what's up? Oh, Qatar is its own country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, either way, it's close enough. That Middle East area is not big enough to just isolate. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man. Yeah. Terrorism has no boundaries, man. When they're trying to make those statements, the more valuable, the more innocent, the better.
Man, oh man. We need this fight, Clay. Thor Hero, what's up? Dev needed, Nia Mall. What's up, family? We need this fight, bro.
Yeah, everybody wants it. It's definitely sold, and it's definitely selling itself. It's becoming more and more of the top news. And I think what's diabolical right now is that both these guys are kind of catching this heat right now. And you know the boxing space that we're in. Everybody's trying to figure out, can you please point at who we can give the duck jacket to? And that's all they're concerned with. So everybody's catching the duck energy. Bill's catching the duck energy. Brian's catching the duck energy. Devin's catching the duck energy. They're trying to put it on somebody. They can't accept the fact that the business of the situation has to be ironed out, and that more likely has nothing to do with both the fighters. More likely has nothing to do with them.
Yeah, it's oh man. So I'm waiting for Bill to hit me back. So let me ask you this question though, Clay. So when you heard Turkey, did you hear Fat Bull 717? What's up? Tree and Out Dream Deuce, what's up, family? Born Rich, what's up? Do you hear Turkey say that Terrence Crawford told him this is his last fight?
He said, what I heard him say was that when Terrence was campaigning to him to make this fight happen, that he was letting him know that this could be his last fight. And I think for some people it sounds like he may have a foot out the ring, and they wonder like, what kind of commitment they're going to get from a fighter like Terrence Crawford. You know, most fighters, when you start hearing them talk that way, you start to worry about, you know, they say, I think Dana White once said, if you got a foot out of ring, you might as well put the other one out. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's usually a bad sign. Very rarely is that working out great. I happen to think that Terrence Crawford is a high level competitor, bro. And I think it's always been and always will be. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around it being anything less than him wanting to compete at the highest level to improve his legacy. He's not a prize fighter as much as he's everything else. Prize fighting right now is probably the first time in his career he's probably very, very focused on the money. But at the same time, I don't think it would affect that competitive spirit and that competitive nature that he has. I expect him to fight the living crap out of Canelo Alvarez on September 13th, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Does he retire when it's all said and done? I don't know, Blue. I mean, I wouldn't fault him if he did. The man's going to be 38 years old before you know it. I mean, listen, man, if he retires, it's probably about that time. If your mind is starting to go there, it's usually a sign that it's time to happen. And then, you know, he's gaining all this weight to go fight at 168. Is he cutting weight down to come and compete at 154? Is he cutting weight down to come back to, you know what I mean? What's he going to do? He's not going to compete at 168 against anybody but Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion. I don't see him getting it in with Christian and Billy, or getting it in with Diego Pacheco, or getting it in with, you know, he ain't fighting these guys. He's fighting Canelo Alvarez because Canelo Alvarez checks the boxes. You know, he's not a real 168 pounder. He's kind of like him to a degree, just more experience in the weight class. So, yeah, when it's all said and done, if he's not going to defend his titles, or if he's not going to fight at 168, what kind of weight cut is he going to go through to compete at 154? Or you know, what is he doing it for? He got a family, he got a life.
Yeah, first of all, it's not surprising to me.
Right.
Second of all, I actually expect it. And third of all, like you just said, he's gaining all this weight. He's 30. He's gonna be 38 years old, bro.
His metabolism is gonna be shot, bro. If he tries to cut that weight, it's just not gonna work.
I go to 54. Listen. He go to 54. I don't think he's gonna beat Jamel Charlo.
No, or Juan Ennis, which I think would be the fight that Turkey would be pushing to make happen.
Right. Or Virgil Ortiz, right?
Or Virgil, right.
Just your body. At 38, I just can't see it. That's a lot of weight. It was one thing when Zab dropped from 47 back to 40, him and Paulie Malignaggi later in their career. It's a different type of thing. It's 7 pounds. It's still big, right? But 20 pounds?
And you know it's going to be a lot of muscle because he's not sitting there just getting fat, eating cheeseburgers, putting on weight for nothing. He's going to be – it's hard to cut that muscle weight, Blue. It's like it's hard. It's a whole process.
Right.
Ask Roy Jones.
Right. To cut all that muscle?
It's bad.
Bro,
it's bad.
Clay, you know this. I know this, right? Mm-hmm. When you gain muscle mass, people, and you cut that muscle – Clay, that joint drain you, bro.
You got to cut back on protein. You got to basically, you have to almost go through malnutrition to a degree, unless you. I mean, if he had time, right? He like, for example, I'll give you an example. John Jones is a mixed martial artist, right? He just retired. He sat out of mixed martial arts for like 2 years in order to build himself up strength wise to compete as a heavyweight. He just retired recently because we done. What I just did to myself at my age, we done. We not doing nothing else, bro. We good. Muscle is hard to play around with, to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? To get more muscle and to lose weight, it takes time, man. You don't just do that in 6 months. Come down and compete. No, bro. You don't do that. It's not healthy. And I think Bud is very aware of that. So if he's talking about retiring, it would make sense to me that if he's not fighting Canelo Alvarez or pulling somebody up from 160 to fight him at 168 that can put some money in his pocket, which I don't see nobody there at 160 that brings that type of market value. I say there's a good chance he does retire. I think there's a good chance that he's retiring after this fight.
Yeah, because he ain't gonna at 68 outside of Canelo. Like the size difference between Canelo and William Skull was diabolical.
Right.
And his first fight being Canelo, cool. Styles make fights, but who you gonna fight?
You ain't fighting Caleb. You're not fighting Diego. You're not fighting Edgar Berlanga. You're not fighting, you know what I mean? Because you got to be a big fight. If there's going to be money, it's got to be a real fight. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's got to be something that makes sense. You're not fighting a Hamza Shiraz. You're not fighting Chris Eubank. Maybe you could go with Chris Eubank. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Chris Eubanks versus Conor Ben was diabolical when you looked at it.
Was crazy looking. It was crazy looking. They about to fight again.
And he just ran out of gas, Chris Eubanks, because it was an easy fight.
Yeah, you're not fighting Jaime Munguia.
Yeah.
You're not fighting Derevchenko. You're not fighting. I mean, who are you gonna fight? You're not fighting none of them dudes, man.
Yeah, and okay, like you said, you go to 60. What's at 60?
Nothing.
Waste
your damn time. I mean, you could fight Erislandy Lara. You could fight, you know,
unless you're gonna unless Jamel gonna come up to 60 and you fight Jamel at 60, something like that.
That could happen.
You know what I'm saying? But it got like what it got to be worth their while to even do it, because clearly it's not gonna be for a belt.
Nope.
So it gotta be monetary. It has to be worth it.
And Turkey don't play.
Right.
Turkey's gonna throw you to the wolves. So
right.
Wait, not to go off subject, but kind of on the same subject a little bit as far as Turkey's concerned. So what happened between Coach Malachi as he was mediating this conversation between Brian Norman and Bill Haney? It got pretty nasty, right? Between them. I think they end up squashing it, you know, coming full circle and, you know what I mean, apologizing, because it got nasty, bro. It got so nasty. It got so nasty to where I had to question what fueled it. Like, what's really going on in the background?
And that was today?
Yesterday, I think. I think it was yesterday.
Okay.
I saw it today. I'll send you a clip of it because it was on X. But basically, Brian Norman Sr. was saying that Bill wasn't the one pushing for the fight, that it was Turkey who was pushing for the fight. Almost like Bill didn't have a choice and Devin didn't have a choice. I mean, they could obviously taken or passed on it, but this seemed to be the only fight on the table for them, and that they don't really want the fight, is what he's saying. They don't want the fight. So Bill came up there obviously to clarify it and ended up going into Brian Norman Sr.'s mother, and you know what I mean? It got crazy. I ain't gonna lie, Blue. It was just like, I was in shock. It was one of those situations where I didn't expect that from Bill. I'll be honest with you. I really didn't expect it. Brian Norman wasn't expecting it. He was a little bit like, what the hell? Your mom just passed away. You gonna play with my mom's? And I'm hearing that Brian Norman Sr.'s mom might be like on some levels, some stage level of cancer type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a real sensitive situation. They squashed it though, for whatever it's worth. They squashed it. But my question is, and if Bill came up here, I was gonna speak to him about and ask him about what his perspective is at the end of the day, how much truth is it to the idea that Turkey's pushing for this to happen? And I think it's significant because when you look at the Hamza Shiraz situation, he came off of a very super lackluster performance against Carlos Adames, right? What did Turkey do? He threw him in the ring with Edgar Berlanga at 168. He took him directly up to the next division and threw him into a very dangerous fight, in my opinion. This is right up Turkey's alley to go ahead and take Devin off of a lackluster performance against Jose Ramirez and throw him in the ring with against somebody who just knocked somebody out and made the dude have a memento moment where you don't remember nothing for six weeks. Is this the fight that Devin ideally would want to be in as his first fight at 147? It's a big. We know it's so amazing that if he takes this fight and wins this fight, this just does something to Devin Haney's brand that money can't buy, bro. But is this a fight that you guys think you're ready for? Is this what you really believe, or is the money moving you into a space to where you're taking a real risk? I don't know. If you're really confident and ready to do this, and this is your thing, because I heard Shane Mosley speak on this, and shout out to Shane Mosley and anybody who's coming from that camp, because even me and you, we was in the city, obviously, for this one, and we talked to people who were there, and most people I think we spoke to said, don't be shocked to see Devin Haney stop Jose Ramirez, right? They were like, the way he's looking in camp, listen, champ, I'm telling you, man, this is they about to be shocked at this Devin. But we was like, damn, we was ready. So to see him perform the way he did in that fight, it was a little off-putting. It was very off-putting, to be honest with you. But we understood. But for Shane to come out and finally speak on it as well, to be like, it was disappointing because he saw Devin be a certain way in camp that he really felt like, not too many people were going to be able to beat him. So there's a part of me that was like, all right, man, that's the guy they're not ready for. He's probably going to, give it up with Brian Norman like that. But to see Brian Norman Sr. kind of speak on it the way he did and kind of, some might say, expose this fake narrative that's coming from, the Haney team, according to him, the way he's painting it, it raised a lot of concern, I think. It raised a lot of concern.
Yeah, Shane, because Shane the whole time, the whole week was telling me, hey, Jose ain't getting past the 6th round.
Right. I'm glad I ain't putting no money on it.
Lick said they saying Devin backed out. Gary Childress, what's up? Pop Shop Talk, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. He said Bud probably counting that $6 million on top of his winnings. That's walk away money. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Sarge. I don't want Devin to be cautious necessarily at all. I don't care one way or another. I want to see the big fights. Whatever he like, I love it. I'm questioning, would they rather be cautious? What I'm saying is, it doesn't even matter at the end of the day, because I'm going to be honest with you, there's little wiggle room for both these guys. This fight has to be made. If this fight doesn't happen, it has to be because of Saudi Arabia or Top Rank. If we hear about Devin not taking this fight or Brian Norman not taking this fight for whatever reason, I don't care what the reason is. I don't care what the reason is. It's going to look bad on either one of them, bro, because they've been talking too crazy at this point. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They've been talking too crazy. They can't wiggle out of this.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to not fight.
Yeah, man. Like Big Sarge, I want the tough fight. Trust me, I'm a boxing fan, but I'm just questioning. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know if we need to question it, because I don't know if it matters. At the end of the day, a fight is going to happen unless there should be a fight getting ready to happen. And we're going to find out. They're going to have to show us better than anybody can tell us. Opinions are opinions, just like buttholes, right? So, we can have an opinion, but if the fight happens, it's going to happen. And Devin is going to have to be what we want him to be, or what he thinks he is. And Brian going to do what he has to do, and we're going to see a fight, period.
Yeah, I just can't see. Bro, I got to hit Bill up. Band up. What up, nephew? Let me call Bill.
Give him a holler. Yeah, this thing is diabolical. It's getting a lot of attention. Guys, right? And I think the biggest triggering thing about this whole situation was kind of watching Bill go where he went. It just kind of felt like Brian pushed the button. And I want to know what that button was. I want to know what the button was. I've never seen him. I feel like I've never seen him where I saw him in that video. You know what I'm saying? Where I saw Bill at, I don't know when I seen him there. Even with the Ryan Garcia situation, he had his moments that he found, but it seemed like he still it still seemed like a well thought out thoughts. What happened with Brian seemed like I don't care, bro. Like, you done crossed a certain line and it's whatever at this point. I'm like, all right, wow, what happened? What was said?
You can hear me, Clay?
Yeah. You said give me 5 and then you stop.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, he's coming up?
Yeah, he'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I want to know what that situation was about, and I want to know does this affect anything in a negative way as far as this fight coming together?
I don't. Hey, man, I can't see it.
Yo, he just went left on him, and maybe he was chilling. You know what I mean? Maybe he was chilling and just was like, letting it ride, just doing his thing, and it wasn't that serious. Maybe it wasn't that serious. Maybe we looking into it deep. Maybe he was.
Well, that was Brian Norman manager that said that.
Adrian Clark.
Yeah. That's what's alarming. You know what I mean?
Norman can beat up top guys at 154 like Bachram or Virgil Ortiz. Brian Norman is a welterweight. I think he's going to be there for a while. I don't think he's going to 154 anytime soon.
Yeah, he's always in shape.
Yeah,
he's not somebody that's not in shape. He's always in shape, so it's not like he is young.
Salute band up. Yeah, and he's young. He's not going to 154 no time soon. Do I see him beating Bachram or Virgil Ortiz? Maybe Virgil, maybe not Bachram.
Bachram is different, bro.
Bachram is, you know what Bachram is? Bachram is the last thing you eat on your plate. Bachram is the Brussels sprouts. Remember when you was young? Bachram is that nasty vegetable that you put hot sauce on and you couldn't get it off the table till you ate it, but you saved it for last. If you could get out of eating it, you wouldn't. Bachram will show up the next day cold, waiting for you when you come home from school because you ain't getting out.
And he ain't going nowhere. Big Sarge, what's up?
Nowhere. You right there, bro. You want to heat it up? You can heat it up.
And he like this gonna happen one way or another.
You gonna eat this. You gonna get this right here. You gonna get this work.
Whether you like it or not, it's happening one way or another.
Yeah, bro. He's what Al Gore called an inconvenient truth.
Right. Yeah, Bachram is like, hey, listen, you gonna eat your cornbread?
Yeah, bro. He's an inconvenient truth. It just is what it is. You ever been? It was just so hot outside, you can't do nothing about it, right?
Yeah. It's
just hot, and you got yard work to do. You heard?
and that's Bachram. He like, bro, this got to get done.
Yeah, bro. He's just a inconvenient truth that anybody at 154 who has any aspirations of becoming undisputed or listen, man, he waiting on y'all. He taking sidestep money. When you're done doing what you're doing, he right there waiting on you to. That was
the crazy part about Bachram.
That was lovely, but so what we doing now?
Yo, every time I hit up Bachram, right? This is a true story. Every time I hit him up, I'd be like, "What about this fight?" He said, "Make it happen." Every time I hit him up, there's never a fight. There's never a situation where he's like, "Oh, I got like political." Nope. Every time.
And he disciplined. He's a devout Muslim. He eat right. He's making the weight. He ain't going nowhere, bro.
I asked him a couple of days ago when that news came out with him and Boots. Did y'all offer Boots an opportunity? He said yes.
Period.
Just period.
Why wouldn't we, Blue? What are you talking about? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, bro.
Let's do it.
Just deal with him last. I think whatever your strategy is, however you plan on approaching the division, I don't know everything you're gonna do. Step by step, I don't know everything you're gonna do. My only thing I got for you is just do Bachram last.
Yeah.
However you work it out in the middle.
He's the when you absolutely what he said. What movie was that? When he said, and this right here gun is for when you absolutely have to clear out the entire house.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's you only pull this out when you have to clear out the entire house. That's
you fight the other fights, you do what you got to do, and you root for whoever he's fighting against. Right. Every time. You root for you said, come on, Erickson. Come on, Lubin.
Yeah.
We need you.
That dude's a problem, man.
Come on, Serhi. Get him.
Freedom March. My brother in the super chat dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. He said, I don't understand why the onus is on Devin for the Jose Ramirez fight. Jose Ramirez did not cut the ring off and underperform. Exactly. It's the same thing I said with Edwin De Los Santos. When people and the reason being, right, Freedom March, the truth of the matter is the reason being is because you the A side.
And on top of that, you guys got to I encourage you guys to try to separate blame from this inconvenient truth and fact, which is blame it on Jose Ramirez. However you want to look at it. We don't know where Tevin is off the back end of that fight. You understand what I'm saying, Blue? Does that make sense? Like, it's not about the performance as far as
it's because of what took place with the Ryan fight.
Yes, it's something you didn't see anything that will answer the questions about what happened with Ryan, or put you in a better space mentally in understanding what you're looking at in Tevin. This is not about punish Tevin because he had a bad fight. This is about the boxes being checked. Who is Tevin Haney? You know, and guys, as much as you guys want to support Tevin Haney is not above scrutiny, bro. He's not above expectations. He's not above what other fighters have to do improving themselves in the ring at all times. He's not above it. This has nothing to do with hating him, and we can still support him. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. That fight didn't do what we thought that fight was going to do. When I saw Brian Norman Jr. fight against Derek Cuevas, Derek Cuevas didn't do what I needed to see be done in front of Brian Norman Jr. for me to get to understand who Brian Norman Jr. is. That was an easy fight for Brian Norman Jr., even though he got buckled, you know what I'm saying, early in the fight and everything like that. But we can give that off to ring rust. Jin Sasaki didn't do that for me. Jin Sasaki helped him with his market value and exposed him to a casual fan base that bolstered his brand. But ultimately, we didn't see him tested. And that's what, honestly, I'll be honest with you, Tevin Haney will give him an opportunity to get done if he fights against Tevin. We don't know. Tevin had that fight with Ryan Garcia. People are wondering where Devin's head's at. And that Jose Ramirez fight, not only did it not help, but it might have hurt a little bit because there was parts in that fight where it looked like Tevin was gun shy. He was scared of getting hit. That's what it looked like. So it is. It's fair. It's fair. It's all fair, bro. He can be criticized, and there's nothing. And me, as somebody who's not a hater, bro, who supports Tevin Haney, I can empathize with anybody questioning where Tevin Haney's head is at right now and where Tevin Haney's at as a fighter right now since he fought Ryan Garcia. I don't care. I'm questioning it. I want to see.
Third simple NSU, my brother in Super Chat. I love to see Bakram move up and fight Janabek.
What truth is you talking about? Let him up. I want to hear this side, that this argument that stops boxing fans from questioning what they see from a fighter who got hit up like Tevin did. And I can't wait to hear this. How we shaming fans from having an opinion or having questions about where a fighter is who just went through a very traumatic experience. Fans did it for Errol Spence when he flipped 5 times in a damn car. Wondered who he was going to be. Wondered if he came back too soon. He had to prove it. He had to have a fight with Danny Garcia. He had to have a great fight with Yordenis Ugas before people were convinced that he was past the injuries in that car. And even when he went through it with Terrence Crawford, it came up again. Is that hating on Errol Spence to acknowledge the fact that he went through something traumatic and it could affect who he is as a fighter? No.
Freedom Month, my brother in the Super Chat said, "Can I come up, Blue?" Yes, sir. I put the link in the chat, great brother. Texas 16 South, what's up, family? I put the link in the chat, Freedom. That was the cue for the ice cream man. The 2 drive-by in the important now ice cream in my Eddie Murphy voice. Hey, bro, that was these 2 silly people that just drove up and down, speeding up and down the block. That I'm gonna have to go ask them some questions because, hey, bro, that was just diabolical right now. It's kids on the block, man, and they got a new pickup truck or tow truck, whatever, and I guess they trying to show it off, but that was unnecessary. My brother Freedom March, what's up, family? Kendra, what's up, family?
Blue, Clay, what it do?
What's good, famo? What's popping?
I can't call it. Hey, man, so what's up with Dev and Brian, man? We
We
gonna see
don't
that
know.
fight, Blue?
Yeah. Hold on one second. Can y'all let Freedom March? He wanted
Yeah.
to come up and say some things real quick. Go ahead, Freedom. Freedom, you there, family?
Freedom, you muted. He just unmuted himself.
Yeah.
Mic check.
Freedom, you there? You can hear?
He's having technical difficulties. You're not muted right now, but we don't hear you. You probably want to go to the audio and make sure that it's tapped into whatever device you're using. I'm assuming a Bluetooth or whatever like that, and then it's not connected to something that you're nowhere near.
Yeah,
You probably got multiple Bluetooth devices in your crib, and it's probably connected to one of those right now.
Yeah, or it says you gotta give it permission. That's silliness.
That shit, yeah.
Can't stand that, man.
Yeah, but Blue, we gonna get Dev. We gonna get Brian Norman.
I hope so, man. I'm waiting for Bill to jump on, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Money. He says Devin fought 33 times. You don't know who Devin is yet.
So, I mean, what is your like? How does Devin prepare for that fight? I should ask Blue and Clay. I want both of y'all responses. How should Devin prepare for someone like Brian Norman Jr. in the 12-round fight?
That's the stick.
Yeah,
Stick
he gotta be who he is. But I think the questions are gonna be. This is a new experience for Devin. This is Devin at 137. This is going to be the strongest puncher he's ever been in front of. This is going to be one of the youngest fighters he's ever fought. I mean, there's no advantages for Devin in this fight. There's mostly advantages for Brian Norman, being that this is his weight class. This is very, yeah. This is very Canelo, Terrence Crawford energy almost. Except
we'll get back to it, Clay. Let the brother have his time. I know y'all said y'all was waiting on the brother.
Y'all good.
No, go ahead, Freedom.
What's good? Salute to y'all, man.
Salute.
Salute everybody in the panel.
Salute, my brother.
Salute, brother.
Man. So, oftentimes, man, when we in the chat, we can't get off what we want to get off. You know what I mean? And so first I want to touch on the Jose Ramirez fight. I'm not saying that Devin was not responsible for his performance, right? But Jose Ramirez has to be held accountable for his performance as well as Devin. See, when I say things like, well, what about the other fighter that he was in the ring with? People tend to think that I'm saying that, oh, yeah, look, I'm just trying to take blame away from Devin. No, what I'm saying is it's always a conversation about the one fighter in a fight where there's two fighters. Right? It's always, well, Devin underperformed. He moved too much. He did this. He did that. Well, his opponent didn't land nearly half what Devin landed. Devin landed at will. Devin used great footwork. I mean, people are saying he ran and moved too much, but if he's running and moving too much, it's up to his opponent to make adjustments to cut off the ring. You know what I'm saying? And if he ain't got the feet and he ain't got the IQ, that's on him. Right now, would people have wanted Devin to stand there more and try to trade a little bit in the pocket or counter every punch that Jose Ramirez missed with? Sure, people can have that desire or have that want, but at the end of the day, Devin pitched a shutout against Jose Ramirez, who had no answer for him. So if people are just talking about Devin and what Devin had to do or what Devin's failings are in a fight, and I say, well, the other fighter also had his issues that he had to address. It's not because I'm a fanatic of Devin. No, it's because I'm trying to be fair across the board, because when you have a fight, there are two fighters. Just like with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was a drug cheat. Point blank in the period. He was on a performance-enhancing drug, right? Which the definition of it is in the name, right? It enhanced his performance. In the performance-enhancing drug he used would help a fighter with things like speed, endurance, right? And power during a weight cut where it would prevent him from losing as much muscle and power and endurance if he had not taken it. So if we address that, that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean Devin should have just stood there and took the left hooks. No, there are all these things at play. There are multiple variables in this equation. It's not just Devin's performance, right? We can't, nothing happens in a vacuum, right? People try to make things happen in a vacuum where, we'll separate Devin's performance from Ryan Garcia's drug cheating and try to act like those are two separate events. No, those things happen at the same time, right? So as far as Devin's confidence is concerned, I think he understands what happened in both those fights. I think he understands what his failings were, and he addressed them. And so if he's confident going in the Brian Norman fight, that is not at any level of delusion. That is him knowing his skill set, knowing what he can do, and understanding what he saw when he saw Brian Norman fight, or if he's watching Brian Norman film. Just like Brian Norman can understand Devin a bit better if he studies Devin's film and trains for Devin. This is what fighters do when they prepare for fights, right? So if Devin accepts this fight, I'm sure he's every bit as confident as he was before Ryan Garcia, right? And when he lost to Ryan Garcia, he did not make any excuses. He said, Allah's the perfect planner. He makes no mistakes. And that was it. So this whole thing about, Devin with the fear, Devin fan fear, and all this other stuff, I don't think that's a real thing. I know a lot of Devin Haney supporters, and I don't know most of them that said that they're afraid for Devin, right? I haven't seen it myself. So that's just where I'm coming from. And
can I ask you a question, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, well, the question I want to ask you is, in your heart, do you feel that Devin Haney can take Brian Norman's pressure and punishment if he's able to successfully land those shots that he landed his last previously 3 fights? Can Devin Haney take that punishment? I just need to know that answer.
All right. So you said a couple things. You said pressure.
No, I just said one thing. Can Devin Haney take the pressure and punishment that Brian Norman can give out that we have seen the last 3 fights? Yes or no?
Are you gonna let me answer?
I will.
Those are two things, right? And I would say yes.
Okay.
You want me to expound on that?
No, I don't. I just wanted a yes or a no. That's because, again, I know you believe in Devin. The reason why I asked that, because I know you believe in Devin. If he's able to land that knockout hook that he landed on his last opponent, that he landed on Derek, you know what I'm saying? Can Devin Haney bounce back like he did when Ryan Garcia landed those hooks on PEDs, when we know Brian Norman Jr. is not on PEDs? So by you being a believer, I wanted to ask your honest answer. Devin Haney never fought at 147, right? This Devin Haney first fight at 147. If he takes this fight and this fight happens, and we see the punishment that Brian Norman Jr. has laid out over the last 3 fights and winning the WBO title at the welterweight division. So can Devin Haney take the punishment? I want to hear from a believer, because I know Blue a believer, whether he want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to hear from another believer, and thank you for giving me a yes or no answer. Is what I was
now I'm going to explain why I believe that.
Go ahead.
Wait. Can we before we get deeper into the explanation of what Devin can and can't do, right?
Right.
No, not what he can and can't do. I'm getting into an explanation of what this brother asked me and why I believe what I said.
I know. I'm saying I get that, right? But I wanted to just kind of like expound a little bit on on the point that you were making as far as my point is, as a boxing fan, why would there be an issue with a boxing fan watching Devin Haney going through an experience like he did with Ryan Garcia? Any other boxer who got clipped as many times as Devin Haney did in his next fight, a real boxing fan would question how that affected him as a fighter and how that and what that would translate into his next fight. That's not hatred, right? Number two, compound that with the fact that Devin Haney took a year off out of boxing. A rhythm fighter, an athletic fighter who operates off of activity makes him better. Less activity, he has to get his timing back together. He made adjustments. He shortened up his jab because he wanted to make sure he kept that right hand up, because as he was extending on that jab, he was pulling the right hand away from his chin, and people blame that as to why he was getting hit with that left hook by Ryan Garcia. Why is it, from an objective space, we can't criticize that, question that, and look for those improvements in his next fight without it being unjust to do it? Why am I, as a boxing fan, in front of Devin Haney fans, observing that, and we can't get past the fact that we got to defend Devin in some kind of way? Why is that not just an objective thing from a boxing fan watching boxing? Why is that hate?
Okay. All right. I don't think I mentioned hate, but what I did say was, I believe I answered your question in my explanation, right?
Okay.
It's not that you're criticizing Devin. It's that you're only criticizing Devin. You understand what I'm saying?
But Devin is the point of topic. We're not talking about Jose Ramirez. We're talking about Devin.
Okay, let me finish. Once again, you're going into, we're not talking about Jose Ramirez, but you used the Jose Ramirez fight as an example as to why you feel Devin might not be ready for Brian Norman.
I didn't use it as I didn't use it.
You did.
I didn't use it as a point. I said that the fight.
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Wait. I'm saying the fight did well. Speak to what it is, though. Don't paint the narrative.
What it is.
What it is the fight with Jose Ramirez did not scratch away the questions we had from the fight with Ryan Garcia. It's not that the fight with Jose Ramirez made it look like it didn't do the job that people who are watching Devin make a return. It didn't check the boxes. It didn't say Devin is back.
For whom?
For boxing fans. Some boxing fans, not you.
Did you take a survey?
Listen, the whole entire boxing space has been buzzing about how Devin looked gun shy, how he looked like he was scared to get hit. The whole space had been buzzing since that night.
Right, I can't lie. He did look like he was running a little bit. I can't even
hold on.
Wait, from the likes of a Tim Bradley to a Paulie Malignaggi to a Chris Algieri, all the way down to the content creators. Wait, hold on. All the way down to the content creators across the board. And I know if we're not going to acknowledge that, then you're being disingenuous, because
I'm being disingenuous.
People are defending Devin Haney all across the boxing space because of the criticism he's getting.
Wait.
Like this is some far-fetched thing.
I want you to listen to what you just told me. You used a fight. You used two fights as an example as to why Devin might not be ready, or why there may be a level of fear in a Brian Norman fight.
And he did use the Jose Ramirez fight.
Excuse me. Hold on a second. Let him build.
Excuse me. You are taking an experience that a fighter had in a fight to try and extrapolate what may happen in a future fight. But one cannot talk about the other fighter in those fights that played a part in those fights. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't care what you talk about. I have no issues with any point. I hold issue with me being scrutinized or being made to look like I'm doing something crazy when there's a question going on across the boxing space about Devin Haney's current place in boxing.
This whole thing about the boxing
I think it's fair. I think it's completely
I'm in the boxing
fair.
space.
It's completely fair. And so what are we saying? That what I'm saying you don't see in the boxing space?
What I'm saying is there are people that take what Devin went through and they try to internalize it and project it onto Devin when they don't know what Devin is going through in his own mind. Yes, You might say, oh, he looked gun shy in that fight. He looked this, he looked that, right? He looked like a shell of himself when he pitched a shutout.
Bro, you got to ask yourself, what does Devin Haney have to hurt anybody?
No, it's not about that. Don't distract.
Now you're moving the goalposts.
Allow me freedom to build on this because that's what I really want to build with him on this.
This is what I'm saying, brother.
Go ahead.
This is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. Nothing exists in a vacuum. When you try to make things exist in a vacuum and you try to apply it in everywhere, it does not work because, as we know, styles make fights, right? Mm-hmm. Styles make fights. Devin just had a fight in May. He may have built his confidence up from there. He might have said, you know what? I have the movement to avoid shots. I can get out of the way of big shots. I can do this. I can do that. My footwork is on point. My hand-eye coordination is on point. My check hook is on point. And say, let me build on that for this next fight. And there's always another fighter in a fight. So from what I saw in the Brian Norman versus Jin Sasaki fight, myself, there were two fighters there. Brian Norman had his performance. Jin Sasaki had his performance. Brian Norman's performance was better than Jin Sasaki's. Jin Sasaki's performance was ass. Mm-hmm. The dude would not take his head off the center line. His footwork is horrible. He's squaring up to Brian Norman. When he's in the high guard, he's just standing there getting wailed on. When he drops his hands, his chin is up. He made a lot of stupid mistakes. And also what I saw from Brian Norman Jr., I saw some things that I saw in Brian Norman Jr. in that fight that made him look like a normal human being that I'm not going to get into right now. So this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't separate these things. If you're going to talk about Devin's last performance, you have to talk about the other fighter. Or you don't have to, but if somebody challenges you about it, you can't say, oh, well, we're not talking about Jose Ramirez when I'm discussing the Jose Ramirez-Devin Haney fight. Oh, we're not talking about Ryan Garcia being on drugs when we're talking about the Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight. We're just talking about Devin's performance, right? That is what I have a problem with. You can criticize Devin all day. Excuse me. I have criticized Devin about his lack of defense against Ryan Garcia. I did myself. I said, man, you went in there, you tried to run down Ryan Garcia, you tried to knock him out, you kept getting hit. Man, you made a lot of stupid mistakes. I said that myself.
All right, but I'm gonna ask you. Let's land the plane field. Let's not filibuster too much. Let's allow a build to happen. Let's allow a dialogue to happen here. I hear you.
You're not.
So I don't want to interrupt you. So
you're not allowing a dialogue.
I mean, I waited for a minute. I'm going to continue to wait, but I'm just asking you to consider the other side of the dialogue that's waiting for you patiently. I will.
And I'm going to land here.
Go ahead.
I'm going to land here. Once I found out Ryan Garcia was a drug cheat, that added another issue, right? So it wasn't just about Devin not being careless, right? It was also about this dude that came in 3 pounds overweight. Devin accepted that. We can't say anything about it. That was his mistake. But now we're talking about a performance-enhancing and drug-fueled power puncher who's only been drug tested 2 times in his career. So I'm going to land there, but these are just the reality. You want to, these are realities. These are not fantasies. That's real shit. Stuff. My bad, Blue.
All right. You know, I can truly appreciate everything you said, right? I think the common denominator, though, in this whole entire situation, when we're talking about Devin Haney, is Devin Haney. So when we're talking about Devin Haney getting inside the ring with a dangerous puncher like Brian Norman Jr., we just seen what he can do, right? Power-wise, whether Jin Sasaki was sloppy, messy, didn't keep his head on the line, whatever it was that led up to this guy getting knocked out to where he's lost 6 weeks of memories, right? We know that there's an imminent danger. This is one of the most dangerous fights that Devin Haney can probably get into right now in the 147-pound division. Probably the most dangerous fight that he can get into. And we can celebrate that and say that Devin Haney is showing a lot of heart, and a lot of tenacity, and he's showing that he's ducking no smoke. And these are all great attributes to have, and nothing to throw shots at him about.
One second, Clay. Let me get Kiki because Bill just called me. He getting ready to come in. Salute to Kiki. Peace, blessings, Queen in the super chat. Dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. Blessings, my beloved. Blessings to you, Queen. Appreciate you.
So there's an effect that we can't discount, that we're having questions about. Even Bill, in my personal opinion, is about to come up in here, must have had those questions a little bit, and he wanted to help make sure Devin's confidence was intact and had Devin fight the way he fought that night against Jose Ramirez. Because it's one step at a time, right? He's been on a year layoff, and he was concussed really bad against Ryan Garcia. Whether it was because Ryan Garcia had Ostarine or not, the effects of it, even worse because he had Ostarine, it's a legitimate question to see how has Devin recovered from that experience.
Right.
When we watch him fight,
I just dropped it, Bill. It's right there in the chat.
What defense does Devin have to stop Brian Norman?
Hold on.
Nah, you're distracting the I'm just gonna let it go at that point.
Let me just say, I just want to point out something. When you talked about Brian Norman Jr. knocking out Jin Sasaki, you said that it was Brian Norman's knockout that knocked him out, right? But you're saying that it doesn't matter how Jin. You're basically saying, regardless of how.
No.
Hold on.
No, you're going somewhere that I can stop it. And I hear you. First of all, you cut me off while I was building, which I have no problem with. But you're not going to push. You're not going to turn a narrative here and allow that narrative to be that. Listen, no, there is a narrative because I told you. I said it doesn't matter because it's about the ability that Brian Norman has, the power that he can generate. That makes him dangerous. He's a puncher. Will Devin keep his head on the line like Jin Sasaki did? Probably not. But there's still a danger there. He's consistent.
I'm not discounting the danger.
So we're not talking about what matters and doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when I said
you're talking about what
that into context. We have to keep it in context. The context is what Brian Norman brings to the table. It's up to Devin not to get hit that way, and I would like to think he doesn't just sit there and get hit like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the dangerous fighter that Brian Norman is at 147 pounds for any fighter, not just Devin.
Right. So what does that have to do?
Right.
So what I'm saying is,
let Blue have the channel. He's trying to control it and bring people up here.
Big Money, what's up, family? Salute to you in the super chat. Much love, family. He said all love, blessings, family. I'm when Bill come on, I'm gonna put everybody in the back so we can chop it up, and then y'all can stay on the panel, and then once he finished talking, then bring you back in, and if y'all want to chop it up, then
for sure.
Open it back up for everybody to jump back in. All right, my peoples.
Yes, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Bill, the link is right there. Did you get it? I seen you clicked it on, but then you went off. But go ahead, Clay. You want to finish till Bill jump?
Yeah, just at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't have no personal horse in the race, right? I don't care what fighter it would have been. I don't care if I watched Terrence Bud Crawford, a fighter who I celebrate, or I could be a fan of, however you want to say it. If he gets hit and punched on the way Devin did in his next fight, I'm going to be wondering how that fight affected him.
And you can wonder that.
And if I can watch a fight with Terrence in his comeback, and he's not getting hit, and he's moving around, and I see him not engaging as much as I've seen him engage in the past. If he's not looking like his former self, then I'll be looking to the next fight to see if those changes are there. I'm not going to be confident that Terrence is back to his former self until I see him doing what he did when he was before he had that experience that he had in that fight. I don't care who it is, anybody. And I'm not going to be sitting there saying, oh, the only reason. I might in my mind feel like there's a reason, but it's going to take, I have to see it to know that it's been handled and that it's not an issue anymore, that one situation was an isolated situation, and this hasn't affected his psychology on how he approaches boxing from now on, and that it hasn't changed him from the fighter that I knew him to be before he had the experience, period. I don't care who it is.
And that is not a problem for you, speaking for yourself.
That's
right?
the only person I can speak for.
Right, but you like to say things about, oh, well, this is what everybody in boxing thinks, or this is what
I'm telling you that I'm speaking to the fact of panels that I've been on, conversations that I've had, and I can't wait for Bill to come up here because I think he's been confronted with it. And I'm saying that there's a buzz going on in the boxing space, questioning if Tevin Haney has been changed permanently from the damage he took from Ryan Garcia. Maybe not the whole space, but there's enough of a consensus going on to where that's what.
But here you keep saying that, but here's my problem because you keep cutting me off. My problem is that's fine to have those beliefs. But that does not mean that Tevin does not believe in himself. And that's what I was saying. When I said that I'm confident. Oh, hold on. See, you about to
how can I speak for Tevin? Who's up here speaking for Tevin? Clearly, if Tevin Haney, listen, clearly if Tevin Haney is taking a fight, you have to assume that he's confident in what he can do.
Let me speak?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to let you to steal a narrative on me that makes
I'm not
it look like I'm sitting here.
These are your words.
I'm questioning for myself. How can I question for Tevin?
When I say that I think that I said I'm confident in Tevin facing Brian Norman, you call me a fanatic. You call people fanatics. You call people. You say people are fanatics.
I think people are fanatics or attacking somebody for having a personal opinion about what's going on and trying to turn it into somehow restricting the way somebody expresses themselves about how they see something. That is fanatical. If you're not going to allow Tevin Haney, if you're not going to allow Tevin Haney to defend himself by performing inside the ring, and you're going to scrutinize people for holding him accountable. For what's happened to him, and you're gonna turn that into some situation where I'm trying to
let me speak, bro.
Something on Tevin Haney? No, sir. What we're doing is we're watching boxing and we're calling it how we see it.
I'm not gonna allow you to cut me off and not finish my point. What I said was, if you say that people fear Tevin going in the ring, or Tevin might have some level of fear, or Tevin Haney fans have fear, and I say, well, I don't fear Tevin going against Brian Norman. I have no fear of that.
That's
and
awesome.
you say, well, if you don't fear that, or if you don't believe this, then you're dishonest, you're a fanatic, and that's the crazy part.
I'm not saying if you don't fear. I'm saying that if you don't acknowledge, that is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you don't acknowledge the experience you just had, and you want to turn that, and I'm talking about as far as you turning it into where are you coming from with this, like it's just made up. You're being disingenuous to not understand that. I get what you're saying, but I don't feel that way. I believe who Tevin is, but how can you not acknowledge somebody without them being a hater for having questions about where Tevin Haney's at? All right, then. So there's absolutely no issues then. There's absolutely no issues then.
No, I do acknowledge that he went through some level of trauma facing Ryan Garcia. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that he faced Jose Ramirez and did what he did in that fight. I can do those things and still believe and still have no fear of Tevin facing Brian Norman and still have every confidence in him facing Brian Norman. There's nothing wrong with that. I can do two things at the same time.
No problem.
So don't sit up here and try to put me in a box like I'm trying to say.
You're the one. See what you won't acknowledge, or maybe you won't see, is that nobody on this side of the microphone has any issues with any opinions you have about where Tevin Haney's at, what he can do, what he can't do, who he is. Nobody questions it. You're the one inside the chat commenting and attacking perspective from somebody else who's expressing their own personal opinions about how it goes down. Nobody's questioning you on how you feel or what you think. No, but
how did I attack it?
But defending myself to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with waiting to see and having questions about where Tevin Haney's right now and looking at a fight that he's going to have potentially with Brian Norman Jr. and saying, man, this is going to answer a lot of questions. This is going to answer a lot of questions that a lot of people have about Tevin Haney, about where he is right now, because this fight right here is a very dangerous fight. And him coming off that fight with Ryan Garcia, people are wondering, not everybody, clearly not yourself, but people are wondering where Devin Haney actually is right now. Because that fight against Jose Ramirez, we thought we were going to see something different and we didn't. You got Shane Mosley sitting there saying, I know he could have done something different, and I was disappointed in what he did. You got people who trained with him saying there was a different fighter in the training camp than what we saw inside that ring. There are plenty of justified reasons to say, man, if he fights Brian Norman next, it's going to answer questions. And you know why it's going to answer questions, brother? Because there are questions. Maybe you don't have the questions, but there are a lot of people who do.
And I don't care about that. See, I don't appeal to the majority. I don't appeal to the expert, right? I have my own thoughts, period. And you're shaking your head at it, and that's okay.
I'm shaking my head at it because this is not about you.
But it is about me. My opinion
about not. You're making it about you. You found your way up in here to make this about you, and it's not. It's about Devin Haney. It's about boxing. It's about boxing, and it's about the story, and it's about the build up to why this fight between him and Brian Norman is an important fight for him. There's a reason behind it. There's a fuel behind the story behind this body. You are, because you're up here trying to act like somebody's trying to read your mind or spit thoughts into your head. We already know what you think. We already know what you think. What we're talking about is the story behind Devin Haney right now. And the story behind Devin Haney is Devin Haney back? Has he been changed from the Ryan Garcia fight? Was the Ryan Garcia fight traumatic enough to change this man's whole entire psychology when it comes to boxing? The Brian Norman Jr. fight checks that boxes. If he takes this fight, makes this fight happen. It checks the boxes because him even making the fight speaks volumes about his character. B, the test that Brian Norman will give him in that ring will check the boxes and answer any questions that anybody has about where Devin Haney is at right now psychologically in boxing. That's all it is. That's what the story is. That's what it's about. It's not about Freedom March's opinion about what Devin Haney's doing. We know what your opinion is. It's not even about my opinion. It's about the story, and the story holds weight. And that's what makes the fight intriguing.
You're stating your opinion, and you're projecting your opinion across the boxing space. That's what you're doing. That's what you are doing. And so I have no problem with the questions. I'm not going to attack people for having questions about Devin's how he's affected. Because I also think that he was affected. I also think that he changed.
Oh, now you feel like he was affected. Because before you didn't feel like he had any, you didn't feel like he was affected.
It doesn't have to be affected in the way you believe that he was affected. I could believe that he was affected in a different way than you. And that's okay.
Yeah, he was affected in some way, maybe. Maybe he wasn't affected at all. We'll find out the truth when him and the right dance partner get in the ring and we see the right performance. We'll know better than we can speculate.
I have no problem with what you believe about Devin's, what changed in Devin or anything like that. What I'm saying is I have a different opinion. And if I want to challenge what you say, I can do that.
That's what's up. I'm cool with that. That's what we're doing. We're debating.
I can do that.
All right.
And if
I have
if I do that, that does not
have issues with me defending myself either by letting you know how I feel the same way you do. And that's what we're doing. We're going back and forth on two different perspectives, and I have no issues with it. So what are we talking about?
And what I'm talking about is I explained it already. I already said,
and then we good then. Say less, King. We good.
What up? What up?
Jay Lynn, peace and blessings, Queen. Ray Davis, what's up, family?
Chilling, man. Probably as the most critical and dynamic Devin Haney supporter in this room, and I will be honest with that. Basically, I'm so supportive, man. They dubbed me the Hanos Clan president, bro. You know what I mean? Let's keep it a buck. So I understand what Clay is saying. I have no pushback to that, Clay, because I think what you're saying is based on analysis and, like you said, based on what people are reacting to. I am 100% sure that, you know what I mean, we are in a world of boxing, and I think it's been said for a long time, you're only as good as your last fight, and a lot of people seem to forget that, right? And I've been saying in the chat while you guys were building and stuff or going at it, and I knew what it was, you know what I mean? And I agree with you, Clay. I think it is some questions to be answered. Whether he's back to who he is or back to what he was, we don't remember before Ryan Garcia. We remember the Regis fight at his long standpoint, and then anything after that, we have questions, which is okay. That's the reason why we judge our last fights, right? We judge based on what we see wrong with people. We don't judge on what we see them do best. And it's the same thing as Freedom Mark, you were saying earlier, or was it the other homie that said something about Brian Norman and how he approached the fight? Now he sees some hiccups in Brian Norman's game. Yo, we can see the negatives and point out the negatives all day, but it's what they do good. And I think what Clay is saying is that the dude is he's a hard puncher, and because he's a hard puncher, does that play a part in Devin's mindset going into that ring? And I think that is a great question. And that's a great way of approaching it. That's up to Devin and Bill to determine that once they get inside that square circle. Until then, there should be no debate on what's going on in these guys' minds, because I think it's ludicrous to say that, well, Devin's not that guy. I don't believe Devin's that. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Devin can outbox him. Doesn't mean that I think that Devin's going to catch every punch or whatever the case may be. And if you look at it, they said the same thing when he fought Regis based on the Loma fight. Right? They said, oh, if he get caught like he did with Regis, he's gonna go out, and he did a whole different spin around. So we can't, like I said, we have to understand that you're as good as your last fight, and that's the way they're going to come in. That's the way they're going to look at these things. They're going to question these things based on that. So as long as we sit here and argue over nothing that makes no sense whatsoever because somebody else has a different opinion than you, man, you know what I mean? Miss me with that, for real. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck out here, man, because I'm in the street. I'm trying to keep my number one going up in this chat right now. And Blue, I'm losing my number one status because I'm up here trying to explain this to y'all. But man.
That number one status is hard as hell.
Yeah, man.
Listen, right?
Let Bill come up here.
I appreciate the interpretation, right, of understanding about the danger of Brian Norman, all that, right?
Yeah.
That within itself is not a separate conversation, but a legitimate conversation. It's very simple. And shout out to the people in the chat who feel like I'm cutting people off and I'm doing all this stuff. I apologize, Freedom March, if I was cutting you off. That's not what I intended to do, right? I would have appreciated, though, the filibustering to be a little less, but it is what it is. It's very simple. We're getting ready to watch Floyd Schofield fight against Tevin Farmer, right? Tevin Farmer just went through 24 brutal rounds with William Zepeda. Am I wrong for questioning, have that wear and tear hurt Tevin Farmer, and could that affect him in his fight he's about to have with Floyd Schofield? No.
Absolutely not.
Because he went through a lot of abuse. It was a hard fight, a lot of punching. He's older. There's all these different factors. So going into the Floyd Schofield fight, I'm going to sit there and be like, I wonder if Tevin Farmer was affected by what happened between him and William Zepeda. That was a real brutal 24 rounds that he went through. That's a very fair question. When we're talking about Devin Haney, he went through a very traumatic experience with Ryan Garcia. It was so traumatic that Bill and Devin came to the conclusion that he should take a year off from boxing just to deal with that experience. Now he's returned to the boxing space. The first question that people are going to ask is, I wonder how he's recovered, not only physically, because the year is probably plenty of time for him to recover physically, but mentally. The psychology of boxing. The pundits in the space speak it clearly. The Teddy Atlases, the Chris Algiris, the Paulie Malignaggi's, the Dan Raphaels, all the great pundits in the space speak about how boxing is 70% mental and 30% physical. The mental aspect, the psychology of this sport plays a huge part in who these fighters are when they're in the ring. So when we see Devin Haney return to boxing, we wonder, on a psychological level, how did that experience with Ryan Garcia affect him? Then we watch him fight against a Jose Ramirez. And in that fight, we seen his footwork. We seen him be a slick fighter, but we also saw opportunities for Devin Haney to engage Jose Ramirez in a way that we can see he chose not to do it. We can speculate as to why he didn't. Did he not do it on purpose? Did he do it because he was scared? Did he do it because he was nervous? Did he have a hard time pulling the trigger? Who knows? But at the end of the day, it's a fair question because we watch him fight a Lomachenko. We watch him fight a Kambosos. We watch him fight a Gamboa. We watch him fight a Linares, and we never seen him fight the way he fought Jose Ramirez. Coming off the back end of a performance against Ryan Garcia that had him sit on his pocket 3 times, arguably 5 times. what is wrong with questioning where he's at right now? And then we compound it with he's getting ready to step in the ring potentially with the hardest puncher in the welterweight division, a division he never even competed in.
Okay.
These are legitimate concerns and questions.
Okay.
Any boxing fan can have and can feel free not to have if they choose not to. But there's nothing crazy. There's no reaching happening. There's nothing extreme happening. It's just observation in the sport that we watch every day with multiple fighters on a week-to-week basis. I'll land my plane there.
So,
All right,
let me just put it to land the plane for this entire situation. So, what y'all both debating something that y'all both right? So that's why it goes nowhere, because both of y'all are correct. Because the thing is, can you criticize one without the other? No. But do we have the right to question where his mental and what his outlook is going to be moving forward? Yes. Right? Because for one, you can't say, well, he had a terrible performance without saying Jose Ramirez had a terrible performance, right? Because it takes two to tangle. There's two of them in there, and they both professionals. So one got to cut off the other one, right? You got to cut the ring off. If you can't cut the ring off, then that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? In the same token, like Clay's saying, we never seen Devin perform like that. So is there lingering effects from the Ryan Garcia fight that he's still carrying over into the Jose Ramirez fight and moving forward? And now going into a fight with the biggest puncher in the welterweight division right now, who's hot right now, is on the street right now, and Brian Norman. Now the question is, he's going to answer the questions, right? The questions are to be answered. Can he do what he did against Jose Ramirez, against Brian Norman, without being tested, right? Pretty much not, right? Brian Norman is more athletic, more explosive, younger, right? But what he is going to have to do is, with Brian Norman, is be more active than he was with Jose Ramirez to keep Brian Norman off of him, right? Because he can't take the chances he took against Jose Ramirez just moving around, because if Brian Norman catch you, corner you off, and you know, then he throws punches. So I understand both standpoints. It's fair to criticize and say, hey, what is he going to look like? Because he's the A side, because we never seen him perform that way that he performed against Jose Ramirez, and because we saw what can't be erased, right? We saw what took place in the Ryan Garcia fight. Yes, we know there's an asterisk by that, right? But physically, it happened physically. You know what I'm saying? Did it get erased as far as the stats and so on and so forth? Yes, but physically, his body and his mental took the punishment, right? Did Brian Garcia cheat? 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? But again, he still physically took the punishment. You know what I mean? And now it's psychological, right? We always know boxing is more mental than it is physical, right? If you mentally not there, your physical ain't gonna respond how you want it to. You know what I'm saying? Because mentally, you're not dialed in. Whether you're scared, you're distracted, you're too aggressive, whatever the case may be, your mentality can put you in a position in the ring that's detrimental to you. You know what I'm saying? One way or another, whether you get knocked out or you just underperform, right? I say this all the time with Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos. Same thing. We blame Shakur because he's the headliner, he's the name, he's the person, right? And he's the A side. So we're going to say, hey, that performance that Shakur had was lackluster. You know what I'm saying? The flip side of that, yeah, we got to also hold Edwin De Los Santos, like I always say. Well, Edwin De Los Santos ain't show up either. The difference is Edwin De Los Santos is not projected the same way Shakur is. So we're judging Shakur based off of the big fights that he's on the collision course for, right? Mm-hmm. The moneymaker, the face of boxing, so on and so forth. I mean, no disrespect to Edwin Del Santos, no disrespect. Jose Ramirez is accomplished, right? But no disrespect to Edwin Del Santos. But we ain't looking at them like, hey, you the Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? You the cash cow. You know what I mean? It goes back to that old narrative to when you put that crown on your head, you know what I'm saying? It comes with criticism that everybody else don't get. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens in this situation. In the case of Devin, he's top 10 pound for pound best fighters in the world going into the Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I'm saying? Same situation for Shakur. Mm-hmm. It's the same criticism, right? That right now we have to defend when it comes to Terrence Crawford performance against Israel Majumov, right? Israel Majumov pushed you to the blink because people don't know who Israel Majumov is, for one. Boxing is driven by casuals, right? So us hardcore boxing fans can be like, hey, bro, Israel Majumov, but they're going to be like, man, he ain't Canelo. Well, they don't have the same style, but people don't understand that. So they'll tell you Canelo lost. Excuse me. They'll tell you Crawford lost to Israel Majumov. Like, what the hell are you watching? You know what I'm saying? He lost, right? It's just like Floyd. Floyd could be in a competitive fight that he won, but it's competitive, so he lost. Like you know what I'm saying? It's not that he actually lost, it's that we hold them to a standard higher than everybody else. So what happens is, in Devin Haney's case, we hold them to a standard that's higher than Jose Ramirez. So when we see him in the ring with Jose Ramirez, when we know he's more talented than Jose Ramirez, we know he has faster hands, faster feet, combinations, so on and so forth, and he don't use the tools in the fight, then it begs the question, is he mentally checked out? Is he suffering from PTSD? Is this the lingering effects from the Ryan Garcia fight? And or is it what Shane Mosley is saying, that they was just trying to get through this fight to get to the next bag? You know what I'm saying? So the questions are always going to be raised because, and I understand what you're saying, Freedom March, how can we continuously criticize Devin Haney without Jose Ramirez getting the criticism? Because the status that Devin Haney presents, it's always going to be that. Are you wrong, Freedom March? No, you're 1,000% correct. You can't. It takes two to tango, right? So you have to criticize. But the problem is, Jose Ramirez lost. We know he lost, and we talking about Devin Haney moving forward. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, go ahead, great brother.
No, I was agreeing with you.
And Blue, I love how you're articulating it. Maybe I need to take a page out your book, right? But I think the important thing to understand is that if we were talking about Jose Ramirez versus Devin Haney, we would 100% hold Jose Ramirez accountable for what he did in that fight.
Okay.
What we're saying is, after watching Devin Haney fight Jose Ramirez, now Devin Haney moving forward, what did we pull from the Devin Haney Jose Ramirez fight that supports Devin Haney moving on to his next fight and competing with a puncher like Brian Norman Jr.?
Right. It's like this, right? It's like this, right? As a Bulls fan, I've been a diehard Bulls fan since 1983-84, right? For a very long time. I'm telling my age, but I've been a Bulls fan for a very long time. So when people try to tell me and they try to project it on me, hey, you're a fan of I think Bill's having technical difficulties. So when people tell me, hey, you're a Jordan fan, I'm a Chicago Bulls. I'm still a Bulls fan right now. Jordan been retired and at least off the Bulls since 1998. Okay. He's been off the Bulls for 27 years. So I'm still a Bulls fan, right?
Me too.
So what, like this, right? When Jordan came back and he was playing, me as a fan, he's still I'm not
man,
a
I was excited too, man.
But I'm not a fool. I know he gonna carry us to the promised land, right?
I just knew it too, man.
Right. So when he had certain performances, I'm like, oh hell,
what is going on?
Is he ever gonna get his legs back? You know what I'm saying? Right. Is he ever gonna be that dude remember those conversations. You remember Freedom March? Them conversations
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
baseball destroyed his career. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he ain't never gonna be the same no more. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, remember, that's when in the playoffs, Nick Anderson said 45 ain't 23.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? and Jordan quickly understood it and said, "Yo, you know what? You right. He ain't
Young it
admit
up.
He ain't
Young
admit
it
it.
up.
Right? He ain't
Young
admit
it
it, but he told you. He told the
Yeah.
world, you right. You know why? I'm gonna build a basketball facility here every day, and I need every pro athlete that you can find, Magic Johnson, to bring down here to get me ready for next season. Because you're right, 4-5 ain't 2-3, and it's the same thing in the case with Devin, right? We seen the performance with Jose Ramirez. That's not who we know Devin to be. So we want to see. Hold on, that's Bill calling me right now.
All right. So what I was going to say was, right, that I understand those things. So when I looked at Devin's performance and I saw,
hold on, I'm gonna put Bill on speaker because he having technical difficulty.
All right,
you there, King?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right, now you good? Hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Wait, hold on. Hello.
I can hear you. You can hear me?
All right, now I can hear you perfect.
Okay.
All right. Hey, man, shout out to that Blue Blood Sports, man, TV, man, you dig?
Yes, sir.
What's that? Is you blue?
Yes, sir. What's goody with you, King?
Man, you know what it is, man. You know we signed up for all the smoke, man. We running to it, man, and we about it, man. You know what it is. You ain't gonna never question what we done already did and what we done already showed you. If it was something else different, I would let you know. Blue, you would be the first one that I'd let know. But I'm gonna tell you this. Shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh, always trying to make the big fights happen. He's notorious with an endless pot. There's nobody in boxing right now with a pocketbook that can play. He didn't win up against the networks. He didn't win up against everybody but Allah, and he's succeeded. There's no fights that haven't been able to be made that money was the root to it. I think with Devin, he's definitely the most accomplished out of all the young fighters in the young in that young generation. I mean, and even the older ones, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. There's no negative. It's either they getting down, you know what I mean, or you laying down. You know what I mean. You must have the same energy for us as for your team. I quoted. I sent out a tweet. I said it's 20 niggas looking at one pen with somebody grab it and sign, please. Period.
Hey, Bill. Brian Norman's manager, AC, he put out a tweet that the fight wasn't happening because of something with Saudi Arabia and with Top Rank. You could just attest to that.
Hey, man, listen, they say everything except let's fight. I told you when they all get together, you know, it's going to be somebody that's going to jump out of there. You know, between me and Dev, our information is streamlined. You know what I mean? Our ability to say yes and no, you know, happens in seconds in comparison to days and weeks and years. It seems like that it's taking these people to commit to fighting. But one thing that I'm saying is if you do what I'm saying, it will be a travesty and it will be a mistake on the part of that young man if he does anything other than say that Devin is a tremendous fighter and he's just not ready now, and he, you know, or the team, you know, they decide to go another direction because Devin is who he is. It makes much more sense than creating any other narratives. That's just the one that makes more sense than it ain't enough money on the table. It ain't enough, you know, legacy on the table. Anything, you know what I'm saying? Like he done fought in Japan, we done fought in Australia. You know what I'm saying? He done fought on the road, we done fought on the road. I don't even think he even fought in Atlanta and sold no tickets. His last joint was 3,000 seats, man. We ain't got no he ain't got no room to be really just, turning nothing down. But it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, AC. He told me, he said they're getting the biggest purse of his career for this fight with y'all, and he said that they had agreed to everything, and they was just waiting for the official contract.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I never did come out and say nothing about Teofimo Lopez. Don't come out and say nothing about them. We still down. We still signed up to fight all them people. You know what I'm saying? It's on them. It's on Ryan Garcia. It's on Teofimo, and now it's on Brian Norman Jr.
Mm-hmm. So it's just to clear the air, there's nothing on your part if the fight don't happen.
No, hell no. They know it's not. They know that this is the most that he's been talked about, and he'll continue to be talked about because he's on the list. I didn't put him on the list because he was a bad fighter. I put him on the list because, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tevin is chasing the Mount Rushmore of boxing. I said that the man had the left hook from hell. The motherfucker, the dude lost his memory for 2 weeks, Blue. Can you believe it?
Sure. It's facts. It's crazy.
And you know what the first thing when he came back, he said?
What's that?
He said, Dad, you can punch, but don't fuck with Devin Haney.
Hey, Bill, you remember my co-host Clay, right?
Hey, Clay. Hello? I can't hear nobody.
Clay, you on mute or something?
Salute. Bill, do you hear me?
Salute, King.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, I want to ask you a question. We're sitting up here having this heavy debate, right? Okay. Devin Haney had a real traumatic experience with Ryan Garcia. I mean, would you argue that was traumatic to get to be in that experience with somebody cheating and getting punched on like that? And was it?
Hell yeah, listen, put me in any trauma or drama. When I come up out of it and I'm looking for Ryan Garcia, I'm looking for Teofimo Lopez, Jerron Boots Anderson, Brian Norman Jr., then goddamn right. We need to sell traumatic drama to every motherfucking body that's listening because it's going to inspire them to be more than ever been in life. So if that's the kind of trauma and drama that's going to get us up and going to be more than we were before it, then all praise is due to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. So Bill, is it fair to say that Devin Haney, that experience may have changed Devin Haney? Some may argue for the worse, some may argue for the better, but this Devin Haney is a different Devin Haney.
That's you violated in every way, form, shape, and fashion when you just said that life is not alhamdulillah. Everything is good. There's no bad to it. And you learn each and every day that Allah blesses you with the air to breathe. You're going to get better. You're just going to have more experience. I have 20 years of wisdom on Devin. I'm not sharper than him. I'm just more experienced, King.
Yes, sir. So going into a fight like Brian Norman Jr. and taking that fight, I mean, I think a lot of people feel like this is
straighten it up, making that fight. Making that fight.
Yes, sir. Even better. You're right. My apologies, Bill.
Wait. Because he got something to prove. He got something to prove from the person that he's taking it from. We're doing this for the people, of the people, by the people. We've chosen to take a stance, man. You dig what I'm saying? When we got all the money, I mean, I'm so many floors up right now sometimes. But guess what?
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Bill, can I ask a question?
What the people want. Listen, you can ask the question, but you got to let me answer. You know what I mean? Because you asking good shit, but it qualifies for a longer answer than you might want. You dig what I'm saying? That do you want me to go in depth, or do you want me to stay shallow with this shit?
No, my apologies. Please do your thing, man. I'm all ears.
Okay, now start over again. Ask me the question again.
Yes, sir. Calling out and making a fight happen with Brian Norman Jr. People consider it a dangerous fight. Why make a fight with Brian Norman Jr. when you could fight damn near anybody you want? Why Brian Norman Jr.? He's such a dangerous competitor.
Because y'all said he was dangerous. You said he sent the man to the hospital. You said all them things. And then Devin says he wants to find him. If once you do this, stop talking about who is the best, and you won't hear from Devin the Dream Haney. I can guarantee you that. If you stop saying anybody else is better than him, he'll leave them people alone. It's you, the people, that's asking for it. You said how good he was. You said Teofimo Lopez had the best performance. You went looking for him. Thanks.
Okay,
Bill was good.
you answered it. Okay, so Bill, and I'm with you, right? The people question Devin because of that fight he had with Ryan Garcia, and if people believe that Brian,
listen, man, you keep trying to throw that shit out the air. Listen. I don't want to tell you how many millions we are away from that motherfucking thing that you're thinking about, but I'm gonna tell you that it's a Rolls Royce, a couple Maybachs, a mansion, and some more shit in between anything that you're thinking or talking about, my man. We just come up out of that motherfucking picture shutout against motherfucking Jose Ramirez, and guess what? Your favorite fighter is sitting on this motherfucking ass not being about this motherfucking cash. You dig? But I'm gonna tell you one thing is the fastest way to be out of business is to try to act like you got too much business. When you think that you got too much, then you're gonna get kicked out the building. We don't have too much. We are hungry, we are determined, and we are thankful and grateful for this opportunity, King.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That being said, the challenge, I think the boxing space sees the challenge as a great challenge for Devin, right? No matter how it goes, and I don't
give a fuck what they see. But listen.
Bada boom.
You know what I'm saying? In 30 minutes, in 36 minutes, they're gonna whip their ass. I don't give a fuck who you pick, what anything, in or around the division. 36 minutes, they're gonna whip that ass.
Early. Well, I think it's a great fight. I hope that it comes together, man. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, that is the fight that happens. I think it's going to answer a lot of questions, and it's going to check a lot of boxes about where Devin Haney is at. You know, if anybody has any questions, this fight right here is the kind of fight that'll get it done.
Listen, we don't need no more questions. We need the motherfucker to call. Them 20 motherfuckers is looking at that pen and tell them to sign on the dotted line. So we can get on their behind.
Hey King. So Brian yesterday said that it's looking like it's going to be November. Why is it going to be so far away?
Hey man, listen. November is a great time. October was originally the date that we were scheduled to go back in there. You know what I mean? And we was gonna come up out of that motherfucker the last month prepared. You know what I'm saying? So it's been pushed back a month. So we pushed it back one more month from October to November.
Right. I forgot the Ryan fight was gonna be in October.
Yeah, man. You know, Dev went and took a vacation. You know, he's been gone for about 30 days. So we gonna push it from October to November. But y'all can expect him back. You know, he went to Greece. He went to Greece. He went to Barcelona.
Japan. He was in Japan.
Japan and St. Bart's, and you dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then and he told me, he said, you know what, Blue? He said, Pops, Hamlet, you in charge while I'm gone. I said, hey.
Big business.
He said, Pops, you in charge.
Hey, so if this fight, I don't even want to say that. I was gonna say if the fight fall through. No, I don't even want to put that out there.
Yep.
I don't even want to.
Any fight, Blue. Which fight, any fight. It could be anybody. We don't.
Yeah. So I mean,
one at a time, two at a time. It don't matter. Blue, trust me.
So now, did you hear Shane interview today? So he did an interview today. He was on Fight Hype, I believe, and he said that
the highlights. Yeah, they did. I didn't see the whole interview.
Yeah.
I heard when he listened, and I heard when he 100% gave credit to a man that was flying that motherfucking plane. I was flying that plane. That motherfucker's a big engine, and that motherfucker got a whole lot of gears. You got to hang on, and you got to stay consistent, and you got to motherfucking know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfucker drove that motherfucker off the track, and there ain't no doubt that at this level, you know what I mean. There are mistakes, but we were flying high and flying elite. We stayed on course. Hey, Blue, we stayed on course. We stayed focused, man.
Mm-hmm.
You dig? And they hate it. They said, can the young kid, can he stay? They said the man got PSD. I ain't never known nobody had PTSD to stay focused on winning. Yeah, it wasn't no adversity in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The man wasn't bluffed out. He wasn't bluffed out the position we stayed in first year. And true enough, when Shane said, okay, well, we've seen, and he's waiting. Yeah, I mean, exactly. So tell the people, shut the fuck up. If we don't want to get hit with something, we ain't going to get hit with something. You know what I mean? Luckily, though, you know what I'm saying? I play both enough positions that I know at the end of the day, I cannot manipulate the fighter into believing that anything is more important than winning.
Right. So what you're saying is he didn't have to take it out of first gear. What was the need to take it?
No, he has to take it out of first gear. Next up, man. That's how that goes. You can't make a motherfucker. If we race and you telling me that I want to see you damn near hit the wall, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Make me hit the wall.
Mm-hmm. Now, so what do you see in Brian Norman that because this is questions that people ask me all the time.
I see he's great. I see they scared to death. I see that. That's what I see. I see they scared to death. I see that they would not do what Tevin is going to do, and that's why that their name won't be remembered for this shit like Tevin will. In order for Tevin, because he got to do that kind of shit, man. He got to be on the card, and they say, "Oh, the other fighter, you give me him there." They say the other dudes, they say, "Give him there." That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You can't be playing around with this shit.
Right. So now another question people ask me: how was Dev? This would be his first fight at 47, being in there with a dangerous puncher like Brian Norman at his first fight at 147. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a dangerous thing to be doing, ain't it? What's wrong? It can only be a fighter that really believes in himself, a team that really believes in him. You know what I mean? To take on something so dangerous, right? Damn, got to be crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so proud of him. Surprised.
I mean, can I, Bill? I actually understand where you're coming from, because at 135 you tried to take on the most dangerous puncher there. That didn't happen. And at 140, you took on Regis, who was a dangerous puncher. So it seems like you doing the right thing and keeping everything in same platform, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I'm giving you guys the behind the scenes, I be telling you, I said, man, that motherfucker's dangerous. That motherfucker. And then when I'm driving the motherfucking car, and I'm telling, cut the corner here, cut the corner, and I'm thinking that the motherfucker's coming behind us with all that drama and all that danger shit. Well, man, I guess I ain't been get hit in the head that many times, because when I'm looking at this nigga's a punk.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, can I ask you a question?
You know what I mean? Hey, no, I'm just saying, Blue. We cut the corner, we pull up in the club, we pull up, and we pulling off with the chick, and you know what I'm saying, and all the shit, and the nigga acting like he facing us. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I'm headed home, nigga. you just a stoplight behind me. You know what I mean? And then I get to the freeway, and then you just a stoplight behind me. I almost caught it. Get your bitch ass out of here, nigga. I was chasing Bill all night. Nigga, you was a stoplight behind me the whole time.
Hey, so Bill, so what you think is the holdup on their side, man? Why they because Norman Jr. said that he agreed to everything, to purse everything.
Well, listen, I done did all I can do. I done taunted the man as much as I can, you know what I mean, without being borderline, you know what I mean, disrespectful and you know, it ain't nothing else I could do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because outside of that, you know what I mean, from a perspective of a father and a fighter, you know what I mean, I got respect for him. I like him when that comes to that part. But enticing them to fight and promoting it, you know what I mean, that's what I do, Blue. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get them in the motherfucking ring and get it on, you know?
Right.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. After that, it can be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But right now, if push him over the cliff is gonna get him in the ring, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kick him in his motherfucking back.
That's a fact. Clearly. That's a fact. Clearly. You're pulling out all the stops.
Hey, listen, man, come on, man. You know, I don't want to tell.
Yeah, I'll pull. I'm
going to dinner, bro.
Yeah, I'll pull up tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, look, wait, Blue. Man, and y'all mad because we going to go eat big, too. And guess what? No, this is the funny part. It's on Blue.
Blue, I'm there, bro. I'm on vacation this week.
Yeah.
I'll be in Manhattan, bro.
Oh, you gonna be in Manhattan?
I said I can get to Manhattan, bro. 35 minutes from me.
Oh yeah. Hit me in the box.
All right, you got it.
Sam, brother in the super chat, dropping that dub on us in the super chat. He says, salute to this live. Us boxing fans love this and need this. Thank you, Blue. Blessings, family. Yeah, man. Hey man, I gotta get out of there. I get my workout on, man.
Yeah. So
gotta get it in, Blue.
Gotta get it in. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be like you, Freedom. I see you with the
I see Freedom. I see
Freedom.
Yeah.
He ain't slick.
Getting his 20 million steps in.
Yeah. He ain't slick. Hey, I seen him walking with the pack. I said, hey man. I said, I just went and bought some weights to put in my pack. I said, yo, I'm about to get on that grind.
Yeah.
Stay on point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. I'm
gonna definitely had a drive.
Yeah. So I was saying earlier, just to help kind of like distinguish this debate, is that we got two sides of the situations here, right? Our last two fights with Devin, you know what I mean? A lot of people feel like
hold on 1 second. Yo, E-Star, that you, bro? Yo, hold on, man. Star, that's you, bro? That's my man. If that's my man from the sandbox. Yo, Star, that's you? Salute my brother E-Star, man. One of the coldest basketball players in New York history. Salute. What's good with your family? Hey, that's my family. Hey, man, I need everybody. Clay, I'm about to call you Kurt. Clay, you got the horns? Drop the horns for my brother, man.
Did it work?
Yes, sir, man. Star, what's up, family? Salute to the 11550, man. Salute to the stead, man.
Okay.
My brother E-Star, man.
Salute.
Listen, one of the coldest basketball players in history in New York, bro. Salute, family.
There you go.
Salute.
That's what's up.
Shout out to the homie.
Yes, sir, man. That's the
salute to him. Salute to him.
That's the love one right there, man. Salute, man. Hey, that just made my day to see you in here, bro. Facts.
So what I'm saying is, if we was talking about the last two fights on Devin's end, we also have to put in parallel with Brian Norman's end, the knockouts that he had, right? The last two fights is also questionable because the guy that he fought first, which was Corvus, hasn't fought in 2 years. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So that's one. The second fight, nobody believed that Jin Sasaki definitely didn't look like he belonged in the ring with him. So that's another point.
At all.
So at the same time, we question Devin, we have to also question Brian. So I think when we put that together, that fight still come together and it can still marinate and be a great fight based on what it is, because we can't really take away.
Brother, that's all I have been saying this whole time. That's all I've been saying.
But if we rewind the tape, me and Blue started our conversation and said, what? This is a big opportunity for Brian Norman and Devin, because it answers the questions about Devin as far as fighting a dangerous fighter who can punch, and see how Devin's going to deal with it. It answers the questions for Brian Norman Jr., because before Brian Norman Jr. had his performance against Giovanni Santillan, he was going backwards. People thought that his skill set was being exposed as the competition went up, as he went from 6-rounders into 8-rounders and graduated into 10-rounders. It seemed like he had a hard time. And we brought up Boca Chica. Did we not bring that up on Blue? And we said, that he was down on those cards, and that card got ended into a no contest, and that Brian Norman hasn't been in the ring with a fighter like Devin Haney. So this is why this melts into a great fight, and it's all about it's all about those stories, right? It's all about the stories behind these fighters that come together and make these fighters intriguing, make these fights intriguing and significant. Devin Haney has a story, and we know what that is, and so does Brian Norman. They come together to make a great fight. This is not about singling out a fighter, but when we're talking about a fighter, we're going to talk honestly about that fighter and the other fighter and why this fight is interesting. It's what makes the fight interesting. It's the building of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I believe that the fight is dangerous for both of them for numerous reasons. So at the end of the day, they're both getting in there facing each other. It's a dangerous fight. And it's not dangerous for Brian Norman because Devin's going to knock him out. No, Devin could embarrass the crap out of him, right? Whereas Brian Norman Jr. can catch him with a good one and knock him out, right? So what I'm saying is that it's an equal challenge where it's not going to look like it looked against Jin Sasaki, right? It's not going to look like that. It's not going to look like it did against Cuevas. It's going to look like something a little different. And Brian Norman Jr. is going to have to step his game up, and Devin is going to have to step his game up in terms of defense. Brian Norman Jr. is going to have to step his game up in terms of cutting off the ring, having that effective aggression where, he's not going to he can't let Devin slip from his grasp. He's going to have to land some good shots. He's going to have to go to the body too, right? And I haven't seen Brian Norman Jr. do that a lot. So these are things that I'm seeing from both fighters that will make it a very interesting fight. So it's going to be dope. I want it to happen. I just want it to happen.
It got to happen, man. Crypto George, what's up, man?
It's a great fight, period. It's a fight that is very significant because both these fighters, there are questions there. And both those fighters possess the skills to have both the questions answered on both sides. There's questions there for Brian Norman. We know what he does with a flat-footed fighter who's going to stand in front of him and who's going to try to outpower him. We know that's a bad idea for anybody to do. But we also know that when he fights against boxers like Quentin Randall and all those guys, that they were very competitive fights, and it doesn't seem like that's where he's strong at. We know Devin's going to force him to show those wrinkles, but at the same time, we know Devin came from some traumatic situations from the Ryan Garcia situation, and we've seen what he did with Jose Ramirez, and we know what the consensus is. We know what people are wondering about Devin. Brian will check those boxes, and Devin won't be able to. Well, we don't know, right? If Devin will be able to move around like he did against Jose Ramirez. I'd like to think that the athleticism of Brian Norman is going to be a little bit more cerebral than what Jose Ramirez presented, but we'll see Devin Haney probably be in a situation to where that dog's going to have to come out, and we'll see ultimately how the psychology is of Devin Haney now dealing with imminent danger with somebody who can really hurt him. We'll see how he deals with it.
Mm-hmm. Snoopy Mac, what's up, family? Muscle Up Cat, my brother, what's up? Pop Shop Talk, salute. But yeah, man, let's get our last words and get on out of here, man. Antonio MMA, what's up, family?
I'll just say my last words to say that shout out to all boxing fans. Boxing is a sport. So many fighters, and sometimes we make everything about one fighter, two fighters, three fighters, and then we leave the rest of boxing out in limbo. It takes a lot to analyze and be honest, and to be a fan of boxing, you have to get into that science. You have to get in that sweet science, and sometimes the feelings got to go to the side. We should be allowed to explore, have questions, and watch for questions to be answered in the fights from any fighter, whether it's your favorite fighter or whether it's from a fighter you don't like. It doesn't matter. Skill set in the ring, if it makes them elite, then you're going to have questions and you're going to have expectations of them, and you're going to want to see those expectations met. There's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the game.
Facts. Listen, man, I'm gonna hop off because I gotta remain number one, man. My XP going up, so I'm just letting you all know. You know what I mean? I gotta be number one in this game because Super Saiyan coming, bro. Pause.
Salute. Hey, Blue. Hey, Bud done after this? I missed that part. Is Bud done after this? Oh my God. Well, he's gonna put on a masterclass performance and probably not knock him out, but he's gonna outsmart him, punch him up in the face, move his feet, get him pissed off. You know how that's gonna go. Salute to everything, you know what I mean, to all you guys, you know what I mean, that's on the panel. I ain't really get to speak today, but I was letting you guys cook. You guys show was cooking. Yo, Clay, I be in your chats too, man. When you be doing your thing, man, I be seeing you, you know what I mean? Band up, be in the back. I don't always say something, but bro, my eyes is always up, man. I promise you, every day I'm up. So I'm probably to see every one of your lives. If it's not 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, I'm watching.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you, man.
I
I
was
really
gonna hop up
appreciate it.
earlier when you guys were talking about Wilder too, but I think you cut out a little bit after that.
Yeah,
we gotta get into that too, man. Forgot about the Wilder, but we'll get into that. Oh man.
Oh, you got it. Hey, Blue, it's boxing. Why ain't nobody report on Charleston White?
Yo, that was diabolical. You watched that?
I struggled through it, bro. I struggled. I didn't watch it to the. But ultimately, I think dude end up stopping him, or did he end up not coming out?
Yeah, Charleston. Dude quit. I'm like, bro.
But Charleston was damn near done himself.
Yo, he was done, bro. The way he got up on it, like he won. Yo, the way he won. I was like, yo,
Charleston Ali.
That was crazy,
bro. And he was catching no boy too.
But he was
catching. I'm like, bro.
That clinch game was diabolical, bro.
Diabolical.
Charleston run up on that dude and try to smother his whole face and push him down. Hold up, bro.
Yo, he was just.
It was nonsense.
Giving him bows and all types of wild stuff, bro.
Hey, Charleston put out a video. He said, whoever want to fight, we can fight. You just got to come down to my weight and put an eye patch over your eye.
Yeah, they was talking about in the telecast, right? They like, he can't see out of one of his eyes. I'm like, bro,
that's right. That's right. He does have a
he only got one eye, yeah. Yeah, he can't see out of one of his eyes. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, bro. That was hilarious.
Bro, as skinny as he was, I'm like, yo, this is wild.
That mess was crazy.
Yo, that's crazy.
Man, salute, bro. Y'all. Salute.
Appreciate you, nephew.
I'll say, so when I look at fights, I look at what's going on in the ring. I don't concern myself with the popularity of one fighter over the other. I don't do that. I understand styles make fights. And I'm not emotionally driven by fighters, nor am I a fanatic of any fighter. I am a boxing enthusiast. I box myself. You know what I'm saying? I like to spar, I box. And when I look at fights, I know how to break them down. I know how to score them. And I know what's involved. So this is what I'm looking at when I take one fight to the next. So that's all I'm doing. And I can understand the questions. I understand the concerns. They might not be my concerns. They might not be my questions. I might have different questions and concerns, and that's okay. But it should be okay to have other opposing views to yours that don't get dragged down, that don't get you dragged down, or don't, put you in a box. So, at the end of the day, we just want these big fights. And this is what this all stems from. Winning the big fights and understanding what it takes to get there and all the obstacles. So really that's all it is.
Yeah, it's appreciate you, family.
Salute, family.
Yeah, man, boxing is a weird space, man, because it's, like I said earlier, it's casual driven.
Yes.
But we are the foundation, the hardcore. So it's like it's constant mixing oil with water, right? And so we spend more time debating than we do breaking down fights.
Yep.
Yeah, just think, like, bro, I did the live the other day and I was talking about Canelo's resume. Oh my goodness, bro. Y'all could see my inbox just light up like Christmas, bro.
I bet it was.
And then just the foolishness just drains my mental, bro. It's just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, and then I have to catch myself and be like, you know what? These people are not boxing fans. They're fans of fighters. Right. But they mask and they come at you so aggressive that they make you think they're fans of boxing, and then you quickly realize. Well, you don't quickly realize, you have conversation and dialogue, and then at some point you're not even a boxing fan.
I agree. And shout out to you, Freedom March, right? Like, by the way, much respect, bro. I hope that
man.
Definitely much respect, right? I think the issue that I didn't even have an issue, to be honest with you, right? But what do? I break down and analyze fights. This is what I do. I ain't gonna lie, right? I got a job and everything, but this is what I do, right? And when I watch a fighter like Devin Haney or any fighter, like I said, I brought up Tevin Farmer earlier today. Deontay Wilder. I was talking about him the other day. Fighters that are making a return into the space and sort of almost reinventing themselves to a degree. Now, Bill Haney wasn't going to answer Bill Haney's speaking positively about his son no matter what. He's not entertaining anything that anything toxic, which I can appreciate and I understand that, right? But there's a story behind all these fights. When you watch a fight happening between, let's say, Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois that's getting ready to come up, you look at the fight that they had before, and you look at the journey that Daniel Dubois has been on and the fights that he's had and how much he's improved and how much of a different fighter he probably is fighting against Alexander Usyk. You watch Alexander Usyk got older. He's had wear and tear. And you ask yourself questions. You go into that fight with questions that you want to see get answered. It's just part of the game. You say, there's Alexander Usyk's athleticism still there. How's he going to deal with the power of Daniel Dubois? Daniel Dubois is a smarter fighter now. His body work. How is Alexander Usyk going to deal with that? You watch Alexander Usyk go into a rematch with Tyson Fury. You have questions going into the fight. It makes a difference. You watch Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev fight each other. You go in there with questions. And that's what happens. You're not doing it on purpose to hate on Alexander Usyk or hate on Dimitri Bivol or hate on Artur Beterbiev or hate on any particular boxer. But if the topic is them, then we're going to talk about them. And we're going to be transparent about the perspective you might have, right? It's not to be taken, and it shouldn't be taken as unfounded, unless it truly is. But I would say 9 out of 10 times with me, I don't see how it's unfounded. So, yeah, I think it's fair. I think Devin Haney is a great fighter. I think the fighter he was at 135, he was heading into a direction to where he was making history. He was an youngest undisputed champion in a 4-belt era. He was doing great things. He got into something pretty nasty with Ryan Garcia. And that right there, for a lot of people, is very traumatic. And since his return, some people have questions. I happen to be one.
What's wrong with it?
And I happen to be one of them. So if you ask me, him going into the Brian Garcia, Brian Norman fight, I'm going to tell you the questions that I think are going to get answered. I'm going to tell you what makes this fight significant for Devin Haney. I'll tell you what makes the fight significant for Brian Norman. I'll build up a story around the fight to make the fight interesting and intriguing for me and anybody who's hearing it and looking for a reason to watch the fight, period.
Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, that's just, everybody has their perspective. Everybody has their opinion, and that's all right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not coming down on you for your opinion. That was the whole situation. So you had yours, I had mine. We had a convergence of ideas or a divergence of ideas. We had several points of contention. That's what happens.
I'm not too sure.
A divergence of ideas.
That was a big word. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, but it should be okay. Like, guys like us should be able to have these conversations, right?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing wrong with healthy discourse. And so at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, we want the same things. You're not saying I don't want to see that, because there are people out there that would hate to see Devin fight Brian Norman Jr. at that level. Yeah. But you're not one of them.
No, not at all. I want to see the fight. I think the fight needs to happen. And I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight for both opponents, and I think it's a great fight for boxing fans.
Yeah, we're both there, and that's really the most important point that we both are making. Like, we want to see that fight. We got questions we want answered, different questions, but we got questions. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, the fight ain't got questions. It's not an interesting fight.
No, not at all.
I think that's what people complain about with tank fights, right?
Right, man. That's what
the point is. There ain't no questions.
Yeah, his fights ain't happening. Blue, are you?
Right. Well, I mean, this next fight, get some questions. There's some questions.
Yeah. But let me get out of here, man.
Yeah. All right, Blue. Thank you for letting us. Thank you for letting me cook on here, man. I appreciate you.
Anytime, family. Anytime.
Salute, family.
Anytime.
Salute to y'all, man.
Yeah, Clay got to get up at 4:00 in the morning.
4:30,
me too.
But yeah,
I got to get up early as well, so it's all good.
Hey man, y'all some good brothers.
I get up and get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure. Hey, by the way, man, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, to the people on the show, I think you already subscribed, Freedom. Anybody in the channel who's not subscribed, take a moment, go ahead, hit that link. There it is in the chat. It's up there at the top of the chat. It's at the bottom of the chat. Help grow the channel. Thank you guys in advance.
Jalen, blessings, Queen.
All right, salute to y'all, man. Salute to y'all.
All right, family.
Blessings.
Nick J, anybody see the and Billy Selecki weigh in? I can't find it. No, it's tomorrow. But they fight on Saturday.
They fight on Saturday, right?
Yeah, Nick J, they fight on Saturday. Deontay fights tomorrow. Wait a minute. His weigh-in should be happening.
He fight tomorrow? I thought he fight on Saturday.
No, he fight on tomorrow night.
I would ask you, but I don't want to open up the can.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. What, him and Malik?
Him and Malik, which I'm happy, which I think was definitely needed to happen. You know, I've said that to you before. I know that those are friends and everything, but I felt like that chemistry wasn't there.
I stayed away. I stayed away from the whole thing, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But my question is, what kind of performance do you want to see from Deontay? If Deontay's talking about the conversation of championships and unifications, or even fighting Anthony Joshua again, what kind of performance do we need to see tomorrow in order to begin the journey of getting back to believing Deontay could compete with a Philip Ergovich or you know what I'm saying, or Moses Atum or Jeet Kabayel or Anthony Joshua or any of those guys, any of the champions for real?
The thing is hard, right? Because with Deontay, it's so hard because my Egypt, peace, bless, Queen. The thing with Deontay is so hard is because he's not a boxer. Right, like a pure boxer like Devin, right? So he could clip you, and we don't know what, you know, like the Robert Helenius fight, right? Like it never even took place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that can very well be the case tomorrow, right? As I expect, right? So I expect him to be better than what we saw in the last two fights.
Do you expect a version of him that reminds you of who Deontay used to be, or are you looking? Are you expecting a different version, but something effective? You know what I'm trying to say? Like it seems like he tried to become a boxer for the past 2-3 fights, and it's just like this wasn't working for him.
I'm hoping that he's aggressive. He come forward. You know what I'm saying? He say he got rid of all the distractions around him. He come forward. He's aggressive, but again, does this dude represent the resistance that could give us that information? No. But then in the same token, who does? Because he could have hit Joseph Parker with one of them punches early, and that fight could have been over. Right? Like, it's like, what's his dude name? Martin Bacoli, right? Remember, he clipped Joseph Parker early. Could have been over early, and we would have never got to the point of talking about his conditioning and taking a fight on short notice. And it's just that Joseph Parker weathered the storm, right?
Right.
So again, with the heavyweight division, is so weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like we thought again, right, Clay? We thought Anthony Joshua was on the tear, right? When he knocked out Ngannou and he knocked, you know what I'm saying?
Out of Berlin.
Then he get in there with competition, and he gets obliterated.
Yeah.
So it's like right now, Joshua come back. Like, this is what I want to see, Clay. I want to see Wilder handle business as he always does tomorrow. They're talking about Joshua come back, handle business, get a knockout. Let them finally fight.
Let them have at it.
I don't want to see them fight nobody else in between.
Right.
None of that. Give Joshua a fight. I don't care if Joshua fight the same dude. Pick him up, dust him off, put him in there with Joshua. Joshua clip him. Give me Wilder Joshua.
I think that's the key to success right there. I think that's the key to success.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, unless they in there, again, with somebody that presents the same, and again, it's the heavyweight division, right? So anything can happen. But again, it's so quickly we could get the Robert Helenius situation or the Ngannou situation with Joshua that we never really do we get the questions answered? Or we don't really know because the heavyweight division, right?
Them damn questions.
Right.
Damn questions.
For instance, when it was Roy Jones, he answered our questions like, oh, he ain't got it no more.
Right.
Because it's the division he in, it's more skilled, you know what I'm saying? And we immediately said after the Tarver knockout and then knockout by Glenn Johnson, it's like, oh yeah, you ain't got it.
Yeah, once Glenn did it to him, oh
Yeah,
man, that was so hard, bro. I can reliving that, man. Heartbreaking, bro.
Heartbreaking. But Clay, we knew from there he's never going to be here no more.
Exactly.
But in heavyweight, we don't know because
that was such a great example that Roy Jones that ran. And listen, I'm not the biggest, but I feel like I'm there. I'm a huge Roy Jones fan. Huge Roy Jones fan.
Right.
When he got knocked out by Tarver in his next fight, what do you think I was questioning? I wonder if that chin is there, man.
The chin is there.
I wonder if he changed. He got clipped. Heart broke.
He wasn't there. Yeah.
Heart broke.
And then he started getting knocked out by people we never even heard of.
Yeah. It started to get crazy diabolical out here where you wanted to actually see him stop fighting.
Because again, right after the Tarver knockout, we still had the excuse, right? We was like, well, he got caught. He was winning that. He won the first round.
Right.
He got clipped with a punch in the seat.
Anybody can get caught.
Anybody could get clipped. Then Glenn Johnson happened, and it was like, oh, wait a minute.
That chin is cracked.
This might be a reoccurring affair. And then it just snowball effect. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so I think Floyd understood. Yo, you let me tell you something diabolical somebody told me. And damn, I can't remember who told me. Was it Muscle Up Kevin? Might have been. Yo, that Floyd Sr. and Sugar Ray Leonard fought in the 16 by 16 foot ring.
I believe that. I seen the fight.
That's diabolical, Clay.
I seen that fight. And they were fighting the crap out of each other too.
Yo, they was, bro.
They were fighting the crap out of each other.
Late bloomer. What's up, family? So again, like, I expect a brutal knockout victory for Deontay because I'm still in the Roy Jones phase where it's like, all right, he wasn't mentally right. You know what I'm saying? I was still with the Zhang fight. I'm like, bro. Right? He made a brutal mistake. He got clipped. He got knocked out, right? I just got to see him pull a trigger. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively.
Yes. He got whenever I watch him train, especially training to get ready for the Zhang Zhang, all the media workouts, I did not like what I was looking at. I saw too much playing. I saw dancing. I saw that damn spinneroonie he did even in the fight, and I was like, where is he dialed in at? Because and then when you see him fight, when he fought against Joseph, and he just wouldn't let the hands go. And he was taking shrooms or whatever he was doing, and they were on this spiritual journey. It just felt like the psychology wasn't there.
Right.
And the psychology fuels what he's going to be able to do physically. And once again, diving into the same conversation, it'll always be the same thing, Blue, from fighter to fighter, from fight to fight, bro. We're going to dive into this psychology. We're going to dive into their physical abilities, and we're going to try to figure out going into these fights what we're looking for to see and what we want to see. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez right now. Come on, bro. Exactly. This fight is going to be a difficult fight for Terrence, bro. We're looking at
for sure, 1,000%.
We're looking at everything. We're looking at the psychology of Terrence, the psychology of Canelo. We have questions. How is the size, the weight going to go up? Is he going to slow down? Is he going to lose athleticism? Is the power going to translate? All these questions that we have in our mind, not to hate on no fighter, but this is what builds. This is what makes the fight intriguing. This is what it's all about. This is the fight game. This is the fight game.
This is the fight game. Couldn't have said it no better. And on that note, let's get on out of here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding your boy Blue down, and showing me love. If you have not subscribed to my brother Claymore Rain, the link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Click the link, subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down, and showing us love. We out of here. Salute. Peace.